What's up, kids? JJ Alexander joining you. Got a little surprise for you today. Actually not doing a Redux today. Luckily, over the past week and a half or so, I reached out and got a little assistance. So while Brian is still doing whatever the hell he's doing and not being able to help me out, I decided to call on another old warhorse. So he's going to be joining in as an alternate here and there when he can. So fuck that. Just enough introduction. I'm going to bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduced you to GK Durant. GK, what up? I think you're muted. Oh, that's my fault. Hold on.
Fail.
There we go. That's my fault.
There we go. Trying to silence my voice already, you bastard.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, me and GK have known each other since, let's see, what was the first show we worked on together? It was NAFW. It was like, what, 2012?
Yeah, give or take.
So like 12 years. Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. GK been all over the place, just like me, ring announcing, refereeing, managing, commentary. You're helping out up at Next Gen now, right?
Yep. Yeah. Help manage the shop. Try to give tips where I can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the students, things like that. I've been taking them out on road trips.
Nice.
It's been awesome doing that. It really helped out too when the pandemic was going on, because I went 16 months with no shows because of that bullshit. So when Bud asked me to be a part of his school, I was like, yeah, okay. I was like, oh shit, still involved somehow. It was great, got me through, and then started working shows again, and now I'm helping these kids out, and it's just it's crazy how much time. I just actually hit 20 years.
Right. I hit 20 years. I'm hitting 20 years in November. So
yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, feel old too, but
you're one of the last Mofo Steve Bradley students that's still around.
Yeah. There's still a handful of us. Yeah, Brandon Locke, I think, just made a comeback. Yeah, there's still some others out there floating around. Right now, me and Bud, we're, trying to do what we can with Next Gen and stuff, and just trying to bring whatever opportunities I can to those guys, and offer whatever I can.
Yeah, and trust me, once Wood gets everything situated again, because when my health fails, his is better, and then I start getting better, his starts failing. Once around the even keel again,
geez, yeah.
Trust me, I'm going to be tapping you for some stuff with those kids and yourself. So be prepared. I've got some plans.
Fair enough. I'll keep that in mind.
Sweet. All right, so I'm going to jump right into things. I'm skipping Japan because honestly, I can't watch it anymore right now. It's bad. So
I'm lucky enough to keep up with WWE. I gave up on AEW trying to pay attention to that. It was
Oh, trust me, I'll cover that, and you can still give input.
Yeah.
But I just touch a little bit on TNA because they got a pay-per-view coming up in a few weeks. Amazingly enough, one of the things that kind of shocked me was, like, every year during Mania weekend the past couple of years, they would be doing their multiverse of matches thing. They're not doing it this year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because they usually, when they do that, it's usually pretty good. But yeah, there's no word about it. Because obviously I was looking through, and they're not doing anything all of Mania week. So it's kind of disappointing. But I guess that's a call from Anthem, since D'Amour's not there anymore. So they just
I know, that's crazy. That still blows my mind that he got fired. I'd really be curious as to the details. But
right, I mean, the only word that I've been able to see is apparently he tried to get a partner and to put in a bid to buy it from Anthem, and they said no, and then they just shit canned him. It was like, what the fuck?
I know, God forbid, or the wrestling guy wants to, take over the wrestling company.
Right.
But I guess you can't do that now.
Right. I think it's just because it would have been the same thing as when Bischoff tried to buy WCW. Okay, we'll give you the company, but not the TV. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, then it's not worth.
Right.
Shit, so.
Exactly. So yeah, but they do. Yeah, they got a pay-per-view coming up on the 20th. That's Rebellion. They got 4 matches announced so far. They got Let's see. Eric Young versus Frankie Kazarian in a Full Metal Mayhem match, basically TLC. That's the story they've had going since Frankie came back. He flipped heel, and since Eric Young came back, which that was they killed Eric Young on TV a year ago.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
He was stabbed to death in a vignette. I was like, this is why you never kill someone in wrestling.
Yeah.
That was some bad booking.
Someone might have been on some drugs when they booked that one, but
right.
Yeah, I haven't watched much of TNA. I see highlights here and there.
Yeah, same here. I mean, they at least, it's like, because some people like, like I get Access TV, but I know a lot of people don't. So at least they've got the Impact Plus deal on YouTube where it's like $1 a month and you can watch Impact Thursday nights at 8:30 instead of 8 p.m. and it's all right there.
Yeah.
That's not a bad deal considering, streaming goes. But yeah, like 3 other matches. X Division Championship, Mustafa Ali defends against Jake something. Like that was one of those things. Ali gets there and they hot shot a belt right on him. Which I didn't understand. And Jake, it's been 4 years. Like, give Jake Diener a new name. Jake something just sounds stupid.
Yeah, I know I never liked that name either.
Right. It's ridiculous.
What do I know?
Yeah, tag team championship. Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers are defending against Speedball Mike Bailey and Trent Seven. Edwards and Myers just won the belts at the last pay-per-view because they formed a stable with Moose. I forget what the hell they're called. But yeah, and TNA championship, Moose defends against Nick Nemeth. So
that'll probably be really good.
It'll be good. I'm not sure if they're going to hotshot the belt onto Nemeth. I don't agree with Moose at all being the champ just because.
Yeah.
Why do you want a spousal abuser as the face of your company? But that's Anthem's call.
Oh, I must have missed something.
Dude, he got arrested for that shit years ago. Like a couple of times. Like that's why no other company has ever touched him because he's got a record for beating up his freaking wife.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I must have missed out on that piece of news. Oh, geez.
Yep. Usually, trust me, if there's workers with skeletons in their closets, I know about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. 2 other things I just wanted to touch on with TNA that are happening though is a couple of things got released. Killer Kelly's finishing up with TNA. No word on where she's going to go. Apparently, they're already planning on giving Masha Slamovich a new tag partner.
Oh man, I like that pairing too. They look
good. Yeah. But so who knows where she's going to show up? And speaking of people who are done with the company, Motor City Machine Guns are done with TNA. They are open. I really hope they don't go to AEW. Everyone gets lost in the shuffle there.
Well, yeah, it's because they've got way more people than they really need to have.
Right. They should really entertain working with WWE, and they're at a point in their careers where they both of them could transition to coaching jobs with the PC, and it would be beneficial.
Yeah. Put them on, put them down in NXT, man. They need to really shape up some of those tag teams.
Right. Better than Anderson and Gallows. Jesus.
Yeah, those guys are being wasted. Those guys need to just be heels and be on their own.
Yeah. Just the one other thing I saw, like right before we started recording, I saw this on Twitter and I had to pull it up. Apparently, this was a face-off on the most recent episode of Impact. Freaking Jordan Grace and Alexander Hammerstone.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Love the side by side.
Yeah. Here's to see what they do with Hammerstone. Like he's in for 2 years with them right now. As far as everyone knows, like they could really do a lot with him in 2 years. Like a few people compared him to like he could be their new Samoa Joe as far as the trajectory that they do with him. But yeah, and it all depends on how they treat him in the next 2 years to see if he stays there or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's a guy that he has WWE written all over him. I don't know why probably like TNA probably like approached him before WWE even got a chance to at this point. Just because I know he still likes doing bodybuilding tournaments on the side, but bodybuilding expositions on the side. So he wanted the free time still. So I'm guessing that's why he didn't entertain WWE this time around.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, some people just want to do their own thing.
Right.
So if you're under that umbrella.
Right. And he's an all right dude, so we'll see what happens with it. Yeah.
Yep.
Drives me to drink.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. See, usually when I record with Brian, it's like 10 a.m., so I'm drinking coffee.
Oh, yeah. In my case, I'd be drinking tea.
I actually switched to matcha green tea. Like I got like a big bag of the powder because it's like the antioxidants and stuff. Like it's helped me out. I've lost like 15 pounds in the past like month and a half. So
nice. Yeah. I never liked coffee. I'm one of those weirdos that was like, ew, gross.
Yeah.
I drank nothing but soda for years, and then eventually I got to my late 20s, and my doctor's like, you're gonna be on blood pressure medication soon if you keep this up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right. And I discovered tea and normalized within a few months. So
yeah,
stuck with it.
My doctors are amazed. My blood pressure has always been fine. Like especially with how volatile I am. I don't know how my blood pressure is fine, but it is.
Hey, small victories, right?
Right? Yeah, I got great blood pressure. I just lost a fucking leg. That's all.
Oh yeah.
All you can do is laugh about it.
Yep.
Speaking of all you can do is laugh about it. All right.
AEW, ROH, WTF. I love it.
That's exactly what it is. So I watched Dynamite this past week because I do, just because out of habit for doing this. I still won't watch Rampage or Collision because 2 hours of my time is enough. Yeah. And it was Rampage aired right after this week. I still didn't watch it.
Oh Jesus!
Because they did a 3 hour block because Rampage got moved because of NCAA because of March Madness, and no Collision this week at all. So, but this was the big Toronto show that they were claiming, like now that Mercedes is there and everyone knows it, this was going to be the big turnaround show. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about how much this show freaking failed.
Okay, go.
So they opened the show with another Mercedes promo, and like, we know Mercedes, she's a sweet girl. We love her. We love her husband. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to be so different because her personal writer from WWE quit and went there, and it's all going to be wine and roses and all this shit." And she just cut the most generic ass promo. That it was like the same as last week. It's what I've started referring to as the Jimmy Dugan role in the company. You come out, you smile, you wave your little hat, you walk away. That's all she did.
Yeah.
Like they had her in that, and then they had her in a backstage segment. What do you call it? Well, no, they had her come out, do the thing, and then they had Sky Blue and Julia Hart come out to try to threaten her with chairs because she came down to make the save last week after they tried attacking Willow Nightingale. And so then Willow and Chris Statlander come out to help Mercedes, and the lights go out, and then the lights come back on, and Julia Hart and Sky Blue are gone, and the girls are all standing in the ring, and Willow's holding up the chair, but they got it so it looks like she's aimed to hit Mercedes in the back, but it's like she was standing like that when the lights went out. But so like Mercedes turned, she's like, "Don't you dare!" Yada yada, because they like they're trying to play off that Mercedes needs revenge against Willow for injuring her in that New Japan show 8 months ago. Even though Willow didn't injure her, she injured herself.
Yeah,
because this is Tony Khan's booking, and it's stupid. Because you bring her in being all smiles and happy to the fans, but then you're gonna flip her heel against like the most like tried and true babyface you have on your women's roster in Willow, which I love Willow to death. I wish she would get the hell out of that company because she's talented as hell and it's being wasted.
Yeah, there's a few over there.
Which like I'm glad people are getting paychecks, but like get out of there soon. Like get your money now and then go where it's gonna matter. Stock away the money that you're getting now, and you'll be good for a while.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many good people on that roster. They're not even being used at all.
Right.
It's absolutely crazy. It's like, it's a big deal. This person just came in. Blah, blah,
Game
blah,
changer.
Blah. And then they're gone. Never see him again.
Yep.
Or they're getting hurt because they
they'll get hurt on an indie because they're still allowed to work indies.
Yeah, or they get hurt on Dynamite or whatever. I think Sammy Guevara just hurt Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, that was it was a Rampage taping, but yeah, Sammy did a 450 freaking knee right to the freaking face and gave him a concussion.
Yeah, and then he pick him up and give him another move and then pin him.
Yeah, he gave him his version of the go to sleep, the GTH.
Oh man!
And the thing was like he landed on him, and it's like the ref should have stopped it. The ref didn't do shit. The ref was like, and let him keep doing it. So it was the ref's fucking fault.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. Who knows what was in his ear though, too?
No one. They don't have earpieces.
They don't?
No, they have a couple. They have the camera guys have earpieces, and then the camera guys, if something happens, will give the Iggy to the freaking ref. The refs don't even have earpieces because, and this is legit. I've talked to people who've seen it. Tony Khan sits there in the go position with a headset, but it's only going to the camera guys. It's not going to commentary, and it's not going to the refs. And he's sitting there reading Twitter on his phone, looking for mentions about Dynamite during the show. It's ridiculous.
Oh, God.
Like, that's worse than the worst indie fucking booker I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know what goes through his head sometimes. It's like the more I see and read, or sometimes the way he acts in those press conferences.
Cocaine and Adderall.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I think he's doing a little snort skier.
I tell people, they're like, no. I'm like, bro, my dad was a drug dealer. I can spot a cokehead a mile away. My dad sold coke. My sister used to sell my nephew's Adderalls. I know what that looks like.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's freaking brutal, man.
Yep. So then we get to the first match. Eddie Kingston defending the Continental Crown against Kazuchika Okada. So it's Okada's first singles match. And I like Okada. And I like Eddie. I know a lot of people give Eddie shit, but Eddie's fun as hell in the locker room. Yeah. And whether you like his style or not, he's got a great mind for the business. I know a lot of people don't like the way he works. In all honesty, I'm not happy like the shit he does in AEW. Like Eddie hasn't come to the grips with the fact that he's not Kawada.
Yeah. I mean, I like Kingston too. I think he worked an NEFW show with I forget who he teamed up with.
Him and Homicide tagged against Red and Excel.
That's what it was. Homicide. Yep.
Yeah. That was the day that he was telling me where the good shops are in Chinatown to get the big containers of Beer Bomb.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. I worked with Eddie a few times. I like Eddie. Like, that's why, like, his style isn't for everyone, but like, that's a guy who, like, he was offered a job to be a coach at the PC before AEW came knocking, and he debated on which to take, and he took AEW obviously because they offered him more money because he still wanted to wrestle. He didn't want to hang it up yet. So I get why he wants to, but I'm not a fan of any of his work since he got to AEW, and this was kind of proof of it, because here we go. It's him and Okada, and I like Okada, but this match was sloppy and slow. And it was number one, they go into it changing the rules of this stupid new ass belt, because originally they said that it's, Tony Khan was all, this is our triple crown. It's the Continental title, the ROH title, and the New Japan Strong title. It's a triple crown. But now they've separated the belts. It's only been around for 3 months, and they separated the belts.
Wasn't it the All Atlantic before that? Or is that
no, that's the international belt.
Oh, they changed that already. Okay.
Yeah. The All Atlantic tournament is the international. The Continental Crown was the one that he just had the freaking round robin tournament for in November and December because Tony wanted to have his own version of the G1. And Kingston entered it, and Kingston was the ROH champ and the New Japan champ, New Japan Strong champ, which is their developmental that stopped existing. So it's a nothing. It's 2-0 belts.
Jesus.
And so they said, whoever wins this tournament will hold all 3 titles. And Eddie won. And so Eddie's a Triple Crown champ. And then they're like, oh no, we're dividing the belts now. What was the point? So they could put a fucking belt on Okada, because Okada goes over Eddie in 10 minutes with the weakest looking Rainmaker I've ever seen. Like, and I don't get it, because it's Eddie. Eddie works with Japanese guys, so it's like you can hit Eddie and he'll be fine. Yeah. And just I like, it's a matter of Okada not knowing how to work on American TV. And that's something that a lot of the guys there, they've only worked indies. They don't know how to work regular television. Yeah. So when they say like you can't work as snug, you have to soften up a little bit for TV, but then they soften up too much and it looks fake as hell. Yeah. So Okada gives him a thumb to the eye, and then blah blah, and then he does the ripcord and like weak ass Rainmaker. It was like, it looked like he just like bumped into him and then just pinned 1, 2, 3, and yay, Okada has a belt. Yay.
Woo.
And they're like, he's giving it prestige. Like, the belt was created 3 months ago. How much prestige could you give it?
Yeah. It's not like it's got like an 80-year history like the NWA title or anything.
Right, because the whole time Tony was comparing it to the All Japan Triple Crown. It's like, no, dude. That's not how that works. Like, this isn't Misawa.
Yeah, you just can't. Oh, hey, look what I made. It's the greatest thing ever.
Right.
That's what he does.
Especially when you already have 3 other AEW singles titles and 3 Ring of Honor singles titles in your company.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work like that. You have too many belts.
That's the thing. Yeah, too many championships. You're just going to water down your product, and everything's going to mean nothing.
Yep. So then the next match was Chris Jericho against Hook. Oh. And you remember when Brock first came back and the match he had with Cena in Extreme Rules? When Suplex City was born?
Yeah.
It was that match. It was just Hook giving Jericho Germans over and over again.
My goodness.
For 10 minutes. And then he gets a roll-up win.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because, Jericho's all about making the young guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was bad.
Yeah, that's I think the last time I watched AEW, like a full show, was probably summer of 22.
Oh, whoa!
It's
got a lot worse.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And the more I read, it was like, like when Christian, later came in. I think that was like right around the time I stopped watching. Mm-hmm. It was either right before he came in or a little after he came in, and even that he couldn't turn it around for me. And I love Christian. Christian Cage is awesome. He's great promo, but yeah, the rest of that show was just.
I never got along with him.
I've always been a fan of him. I never met the guy.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of his work.
I was never a fan of his work, and then actually was in a locker room and watched him be a dick, and I was just like, oh, I guess that's why I didn't like you. Yeah, that's a fun story for another day. So then women's tag team match: Toni Storm and Mariah May versus Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa pins Toni Storm, so automatically, because this is Tony Khan's booking, someone pinned the women's champ, so now she's going to get a title match, because that's how Tony Khan works.
That sounds like that hasn't changed.
Yep, not at all. It's the same Tony Khan booking every week. It's if you see someone appear on TV they get a squash match victory over someone in order for them to then get a title shot on Dynamite the following week, or they'll pin the champion in a 6-man or a tag match so that they get a title shot the following week. Same thing. Okada and Kingston. Okada pinned Eddie in a 6-man the week before, and then he got a title shot and beat Kingston. So it's E-Fed booking. Then then Swerve Strickland held an open challenge, which he announced earlier in the show. I love Swerve. He's another guy I think needs to get the hell out of there. It sucks that he jumped on that AEW bandwagon the moment they called him and didn't wait for Trips to bring him back, because Trips would have brought him back.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Hit Row would have been back.
The thing was, I think if Trips had the chance, he wouldn't have even brought back all of Hit Row. I think he would have just brought back Swerve and Ashanti. Because
they're the only two out of that group that were worth a damn.
Right. Well, because Top Dollar is the one that ruined that for everyone. Because I don't know if you know the story, because they released B-Fab because they were just going on the ledger. And then Top Dollar called up the office and went off on them. And that's why they fired the rest of them. Because he had a big mouth. Yeah,
I had heard, I didn't know the exact circumstances, but I knew it was like he had spoken up about it when B-Fab got let go. And there was a similar situation years ago. Antonio Thomas and Romeo Rosselli, they were the heartthrobs. The story is that Romeo had a big mouth. They were filming vignettes and said something about one of the producer's wives. That was in the vignette. Next thing you know, they're both gone.
I know that story.
And you're a team, you're fucking looked at as one. It's unfortunate because Antonio Thomas is amazing.
Right.
You know, he could have been great in a singles role, but of course that wasn't what they brought him in for. So
I know. And it sucks that that was, it sucks that was almost 20 years ago too, because Tom's work even today, the Tom Santel character is freaking amazing. Like they could do something with that.
Yeah, no, it's legit, man. He's doing great things down there, Beyond now, and he's running that school, and now he's got Malonis down there helping him out.
That's right. I forgot he's helping run the Beyond school. That's right. Okay, yeah. So anyway, so Swerve has an open challenge, which it's answered by the Butcher. Yay. Dude had, from the Butcher and the Blade, dude hasn't been on TV in months, but here we go. Because Swerve said it better be a big guy. So it's like, oh, this is the biggest guy we got that showed up today. So, Swerve beats him. That's a nothing victory. And then after the match, basically Swerve says, I want my title shot against Joe one-on-one, because you never see that. And then Don Callis comes out and says, well, Takeshita is undefeated against anyone that's not in the Don Callis family, because Takeshi did the job to freaking Ospreay at the pay-per-view. But besides that, he's got the same win-loss record as Swerve. So he's like, so he deserves to face Samoa Joe. And then Swerve, and he's like, so you need to go through him before you try to go for the title. And Swerve's like, I ain't need to do that. And then 10 seconds later, all right, I'll face him next week. What? You just said no, and then say yes. That's Swerve, bro. And they need to turn Swerve babyface. Because the crowd's already cheering for him. They're chanting whose house, Swerve's house. They're popping for freaking Prince Nana's dancing.
Yeah.
How can you hate Nana? Nana's always been a freaking great guy.
Right.
I love that man. He has always been just the greatest dude in the world.
Yeah, man. And I love Swerve too, man. I'm back when he was working FW shows with us back in the day. And I think we worked with him a good handful of times, I want to say. Yeah.
I was supposed to, there was one show, there was one very infamous show that I worked that Mike Banks was involved with, which I wish he wasn't. And we were supposed to book ACH, and ACH backed out because that was when he got signed. And we were looking for a replacement, and I told him, call Shane Strickland. And he was like, no. I was like, why not? He's like, he won't draw. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
What?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a foolish statement right there. Holy shit.
And then I suggested AR Fox. He's like, no, I'm like, why not? He's like, he kayfabed me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I tried to book him once and he left me on red. I'm like, so? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And so then main event of Dynamite, Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland for the TNT title in a street fight. Or no, sorry, an I Quit match.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It took less than 2 minutes for them to start fighting into the crowd. They made it back to the ring. They started incorporating other things like ladders and various weapons. Edge blades, I think Christian blades too. Tables are broken. Edge brings out the board with nails in it that he introduced on on Collision the week before, which was the same thing that Abyss used to have in TNA. Then like a whole bunch of fuckery of interference from Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne's mom, and then Matt Menard and Daniel Garcia come down to help Edge, and then they bring out handcuffs and they handcuff Nick Wayne to one turnbuckle and they handcuff Luchasaurus to another and they handcuff Christian to a third, and Edge kicks him in the balls a couple of times, and then I think he goes to go for the balls with the fucking board with the nails in it, and Christian says, I quit. And Edge is the new TNT champion. Yay. So now their heavyweight champion Samoa Joe, their secondary champion is Edge, the international champion is Roderick Strong, and the Continental champion is Okada. So 3 ex-WWE guys and a New Japan guy are their champions, and they're all over 35.
Holy
the company
shit.
of the young boys.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yep. And so the whole thing was they were touting that it was a sold out crowd, and it really wasn't sold out. Yeah, exactly. Because photos don't lie. There's an entire empty section right there. Well, that's for the hard cam. But if you look next to it, there's empty seats in the section next to it too. And none of the upper boxes were filled.
Yeah, and that picture doesn't even show you the upper boxes either.
Exactly. Like they drew 6,000 and change in an arena that holds 7,000 and change. So
yeah.
Okay. But it was also because they were in Toronto and it was Edge and Christian main eventing.
Exactly. That's the only reason they filled up most of that arena, because
exactly
they got other arenas they've gone into that hold like 10,000, 12,000, 13,000. They're only selling like between 3,000 and 5,000 seats.
They're selling like 2,500 and then comping 1,000 seats the day of the show. Because that's what they do. They go around, like I know people who were who've been in Uncasville when they've gone to Mohegan, and people and other things. They literally go around the day of the show to the metropolitan area around it, and they have lackeys that hand out 500 to 1,000 comps, or sometimes more, to locals. And then what happens is they're first come first serve comps, and so they have people come because they don't open up more seats for them. It's just so they can say this is how many were distributed, even if it's only set up for less than, like that's what happened in Boston. They were only set up for 8,000, but they claim they distributed 9,500. It's because they gave out 1,500 comps, but not everyone showed up. But they're like, well, it's still distributed, and that was the thing. But so Tony Khan, as I said, is always on Twitter. Needs to stay off Twitter because there's a level of professionalism that you need to have as a promoter. And like, this is something that I was told by Mike Milano back years ago. Like, you want to be a booker, you want to be a promoter, you need to act like a professional online. Tony Khan doesn't know how to act like a professional online.
Yeah, some of the stuff I've seen is
right there.
I mean, yeah, that's just one example. Yeah.
Just calling fans fucking stupid is not the way to go.
Yeah, and that's he gets in these like little tiffs with fans all the time now. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, he's a year younger than me, and he acts like a 20-year-old.
Yeah, it's
like it's because he's a spoiled rich kid. He's had everything handed to him his whole life. He's never had to want. Like he never had to make his way up through the indies like some of us. He just gets to throw money at people.
Yeah, he gets to play with his inheritance a little early.
Mm-hmm. But so, after all that's said and done, after having the big show with Edge versus Christian in the main event, having Okada win a title, having Mercedes Moné on the show, how were the ratings? 800,000.
All right.
No million. They were 801 last week, so they lost viewers on average.
I was gonna say, I think because I listen to Jim Cornette a lot, and they go through a whole segment.
They do because WrestleNomics releases the quarter hours. I had the quarter hour thing for this, but I don't know where it went. Like I thought I saved it, but I didn't. And the thing was, and here's the thing, because I was watching it live. So the finish to Edge and Christian literally happened on Rampage. They were in the overrun, and the screen went black, and then it came back before the end of the match. So they were already on Rampage. Here's the killer. The drop from the last quarter of Dynamite to the first quarter of Rampage, which included the overrun, they lost 250,000 people before the end of that match.
Yep, I believe it.
Yeah, so it literally went, and it went down. So it went from like 660,000 down to like freaking 410,000. I was like, but ratings don't matter. Yeah. And the only other part of AEW that I wanted to mention, though, is the fact, Tony Khan always said that he would never run a show WrestleMania weekend. That was before he bought Ring of Honor. Since he bought Ring of Honor, he's still run a Ring of Honor show every WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, geez.
So mind you, Mania's less than 2 weeks away. Supercard of Honor is happening on the 5th at 8 p.m. So the same time as SmackDown. It's happening at the Liacouras Center. So far, for a pay-per-view that is less than 2 weeks away, they have 2 matches announced.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
They got Eddie Kingston defending the ROH title against Mark Briscoe, which I'm guessing that Tony is fed up with Eddie at this point, and he's just going to take all the belts off of him, which sucks. I mean, and but Eddie and Mark they'll have an inoffensive match. I'll say that much. I love Mark, and really, like the only times I've seen matches on AEW that I haven't hated, they've involved Mark Briscoe. So, like these matches that he had with Jay Lethal have been good just because they've worked each other 1,000 times. They can't have a bad match with each other. The other match that's been announced is Athena defending the ROH women's title against Hikaru Shida because reasons. Like I have no clue if there's even a build to that. Probably not.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either.
Yeah, because nobody watches Ring of Honor because I'm not paying $9.99 a month to watch AEW Dark behind a paywall.
Yeah, I mean it's basically what it's become. It's they've turned it into their AEW farm system. Right.
And the thing is, even the people in attendance don't stay for it because they tape it. They tape it after Collision. No one stays.
Yeah.
Like they empty out and there's like 400 people in the building. It's sad. But yeah, like they say scheduled to appear Kyle Fletcher, who's the TV champ, Austin and Colton Gunn, who are part of the six-man champions, and Jay White, Wheeler Yoda, who's the pure champion, Taven and Bennett, who are the ROH tag champions.
Yeah.
So they're scheduled to appear. No one knows who the hell they're facing. He'll probably book it. He'll probably book it on the Dynamite right before the show.
Yeah, no kidding. And yeah, oh, cool. Hey, a few days from now, by the way.
Right? And the thing is, like, you're going to do this Mania weekend when we'll get into it later, but there are so many other shows running that weekend in Philly.
Yeah. Oh, there's a shit ton. There's always a shit ton.
Yeah. Like what I put in that format sheet is nothing compared to what's actually happening. That's just like stuff that I wanted to highlight.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, let me get over here. I'm done with AEW. Jesus.
Moving on.
Okay. So let's talk about Raw on Monday.
All right.
All right. So let's see. So let's see.
Started off with a Jey Uso promo.
Yep, Jimmy and Jay coming face to face to open the show. Basically confirming their one-on-one match at Mania.
Yep.
Which is good. It's at a natural build.
Oh yeah, and their promos have been really fire. It was one thing I was noting on was Jimmy's facial expressions while he's talking. This one almost looks unhinged.
Like, did Jimmy have like veneers done or something? Because like he's always got like maniacal smile and it's just so freaking white.
Yeah, it's like when Roman came back in 2020, summer of 2020.
Yeah.
Orton made the Instagram post of Brian Griffin with the teeth. I did notice that a little bit too, but no, legit. Like I really enjoyed this promo.
Yeah.
And I would really, and then of course, I think Cody ran into to save him.
Yeah. I don't think Cody needed to be inserted into that.
Yeah, but it's because the stories are parallel, so I can see why they did it.
Yeah, because it's Cody against the Bloodline. Because Cody and Jay were tag partners, and so yeah, it's just, I don't care for anything involving Cody.
Yeah, I could see them doing a probably at the next pay-per-view or something, a 6-man be Cody, Seth, and Jay versus Solo, Jimmy, and Roman.
Not so sure about that.
I mean, I could see it. I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but
I think we might be seeing some new family members showing up around Mania.
Yeah, I would really like that because if they do the deal where Seth and Cody beat Rock and Roman on night 1, and no official bloodline members can be at ringside, then you can bring in.
I'm thinking the Booker T's been pushing heavy for Jacob Fatu to get signed.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Jacob Fatu. I couldn't remember his name at the top of my head.
Yeah,
but I think there's one other.
Zilla, their youngest brother, but he's still real green.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, that could.
Right.
Yeah, that could.
I mean, hell, freaking Lance Anoa'i is going to be around Philly doing a bunch of those freaking Mania shows. Like, give him a freaking payday.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's door could be open there.
Right, but we'll get to that because there's some other scenarios that could go through that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I don't need that anymore. So yeah. So then, tag team qualifying match. DIY defeated the Creed brothers. Thank God.
Yeah. I gotta say though, I do like the Creeds.
You're alone in that.
They got their powerhouses. I mean, they got to clean up and get some better personalities.
You can't teach charisma, and I don't think that's ever going to happen with them.
I mean,
I think they got put on TV way too fast and put to the main roster even quicker, and I think that's a major problem.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I used to give the comparison. You know who they remind me of? Alex the Pug Porto. Bet you don't even remember.
I don't. Yeah.
Early 90s WWF New Generation. He was this skinny little he was a white collegiate kid who was like part of that New Generation crop of him and Lance Cassidy and them. And yeah, like he just can't teach charisma. And I have a saying about Brutus Creed too. Brian used to yell at me because he used to just say stop. Brutus Creed looks like Billy King ate Nick King. Now you're not going to be able to unsee it.
Oh, that's stuck in my head for a while. But back to the match. I thought it was a good match. I thought both teams did well. Creeds did some really cool power shit. There was like that pickup suplex, like from his knees.
Oh yeah, the squat suplex.
That was that was pretty fucking cool. And then what was the ankle lock, and they like lift him up with one arm to get him into a powerbomb position. Like that was cool shit.
I don't know. I think they should still be in developmental. Like, I don't think they should be on the main roster right now.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I mean, if you get them a mouthpiece, then I think it would get better. I think.
Honestly, like I know I've seen a lot of like internet bookers saying it, but honestly, I think it might be like there might be an advantage to putting them with Alpha Academy and let Gable be their mouthpiece.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah, that might help.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm not sold on them at all.
There's something there. I mean, they're getting pops when they do their power shit. So I mean, there's something there. Granted, yeah, the personality wise, a ton of work needs to be done.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So then we got the backstage segment. Judgment Day still trying to recruit Andrade.
Yep.
Not sure where they're going with this. I feel like it's gonna lead. All that's gonna lead to is like a Andrade Priest feud.
Yeah, I can see that because I think they're trying to push him as a babyface. So
they are. I feel like we're gonna see a Judgment Day split after Mania.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they've been around
a couple of years.
Yeah.
So. Right. But I think it's gotten to the point where Rhea is too over to keep her as a heel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She gets cheered everywhere she goes.
Right.
Everywhere. And, and rightfully so, because she's as good as any of the guys.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that girl's a superstar.
Did you see how she broke the internet this weekend?
Oh, was that the Nia Jax stink face?
Giving her the stink face. Yeah.
I think I saw it this morning. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me clean your seat off for you. My one perverted comment for the podcast.
Oh, you can have plenty more. I have no judgment.
No, I mean seriously though, Rhea is like she has got when people say, "Oh, this so and so's got it," she has got it, and it's been like that for a couple of years, and she only gets better.
Yeah, she does, and she's got a long way ahead of her too. Like,
yeah,
she stays healthy.
Yeah, I think she's only in her mid-20s, so
right.
Yeah, she's got plenty of time left if she stays healthy.
Like she could very well like usurp Fabulous Moolah as far as for longevity goes.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
50, 60 years of Rhea. I'm okay with it.
Right? Hell yes.
Call her grandmommy.
There could be some money in that eventually.
You never know.
Right? Oh shit. Yeah. So then women's tag Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae beat Kaden Carter and Katana Chance via submission. She put the half crab on an injured Katana Chance. Candice LeRae did. It's nice to see getting some different some heel work out of Candice.
Yeah.
It's different than I think everywhere I've ever seen her, she's always been a baby face.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, she's so small too. That
right.
It's like the smaller you are, the harder it is to be a heel. She's definitely got that. But I mean, she's doing the heel thing really well, like where she dressed down Maxine last week.
Yeah,
that's where it really kicked off.
Yeah, that was a really smart move, taking something that happened in real life and stirring into and turning into the skid on it with Maxine.
Yep, exactly. That was very smart because you know what, tell a story and you're getting a story out of it now. And
right,
Candice is very well skilled and she's tough as nails too. I mean, she's been in the ring and bled in hardcore matches for sure.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm liking the story. Eventually, it'll probably lead to a split, and then Indy versus Candice, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then maybe they'll put Indy and Dexter back together. We haven't seen Dexter on TV in God knows how long.
Hasn't he been hurt?
Yeah, I think he is. Maybe I think he was, but I think he might be cleared. But they just have nowhere to put him right now.
Yeah. I know they got a lot of people on their roster too. So
yeah, but I mean they at least try to find ways to put people in places.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it was good. Good segment with Candace, taking advantage of the injury with Katana, and I like Katana and Kaden, but Katana is very bland, very vanilla.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like they're good. They're a good cohesive unit,
Yep.
but they're missing something.
It's mostly her because
Yeah.
Caden's got the charisma out of the pair for sure.
Yeah.
Katana,
Shell likes to call them the EDM twins.
EDM twins. I can hear Shell say it now too.
Yep. Oh shit. Yep. Yeah. So then Ricochet defeated Dominic Mysterio, even though a bunch of interference from Mongoloid Balor.
Yeah.
JD's a serviceable worker, but I just don't see a reason for him.
Yeah, I mean you hear. I think it was like Shawn Michaels was really high on him. I think the catapult, but now it's like he's like the lackey of the Judgment Day now, and
right.
It feels like he's being wasted because he is good. I mean, they have Finn come down to NXT and work with him. That was good shit.
Yeah, I think he's like they keep him around so that way they've got something for Dom to do to keep him getting heat, because like putting Dom with Rhea now, like they want to boo Dom, but they don't want to boo Rhea, so you really can't do that. So it's like, oh, we'll put him with the lackey, and that way you've got two heaters out there.
Exactly, and Dom's work is just, my God, he's like a young Eddie Guerrero.
I don't care for Dom.
Grunt all you want, man, but
I honestly think I think they keep going back to the well with him and Ray because they know that that's the only way they will keep up that heel heat with them, because if they take that away, he's gonna fall flat. I don't see longevity in Dominic Mysterio.
I've been loving the heel work. I mean, the whole Rhea like corrupted him for the most part, and then
that worked to begin with because it was something to get him away from Ray, but they're circling back to it again. Like,
that kind of threw me off on SmackDown when he showed up, and we'll get to that. But
we'll get to that. Yeah.
Well, but honestly, I mean, his heel work in there is, I'm a fan of it. He's got the mullet going like young Eddie. He's even got the young Eddie.
I feel like he had him grow it out because I think they're gonna like last minute spring, like him and Ray will be like I don't know if at Mania, but like sometime in between, they're gonna do a hair versus mask with him and Eddie, him and Ray. I mean,
oh yeah. Okay,
I feel like that's where they're going with that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Another tag team qualifying match for the ladder at Mania. Awesome Truth defeated Indus Sher. It was supposed to be Awesome Truth versus Imperium, but I guess Kaiser got hurt on a house show.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah, like they had to carry him off. So I don't think it's anything super major, but so they just threw Indus Sher there, which is because people are like, oh well, they have been like they've been working main event and stuff, so it's not big. But like they're another tag team that like once Mania season is done, like they could start building them again, because they're two big guys. Like it's not like they can't work. Yeah,
exactly. And then you throw in the gender factor.
Right, Jinder's a great mouthpiece for them.
Yep, exactly. It's a shame about Imperium.
Yeah,
I like all those guys. Yes. Marcel Barthel, whatever the hell they're calling him now.
Ludwig Kaiser. Or no, Marcel is. Yeah, Marcel Barthel is Ludwig Kaiser, and then Ludwig Fabian is Giovanni Vinci now.
Yeah. Luckily, they got him out of that Italian model gimmick. That was.
Oh God, dude! That literally the second they had him come out, I'm like, oh look, they made Italians. They made Cesaro 2.0. Oh, like that's all he was.
I didn't think about that one, but but it was like they made him like a European model type of personality. I was like, are you shitting me? I'm like, no, put him back with Imperium.
Right. Like, I totally split them like that. You could tell that was a Vince call.
Oh, yeah, come on, 100%.
Right.
How many guys do you had do that type of gimmick and
right
falling flat? Was Sylvain? Remember Sylvain Grenier?
Oh God, yeah.
They had him do the
Sylvain.
thing after the La Resistance split.
Yep. It's always split up the foreign tag team and make one of them a model. Rick Martel. It goes all the way back to that.
It does. It does. Oh shit.
More things change, the more things stay the same.
Yep.
Yeah. And then another tag team qualifying match. New Day defeated Alpha Academy, which I don't know what they're doing here with it was Alpha Academy, but it was Otis and Tozawa. It wasn't Otis and Gable. Like, I don't know. Like, I was honestly that because they wanted to throw New Day in this match instead of Alpha Academy. It was like, what's Gable going to do for Mania?
Yeah, I got a feeling he's probably going to cost Sammy the IC belt.
You think?
It's possible because they've been. I think before this match there was a segment.
It was the backstage where basically like Sammy was like, "What's your problem?" And he was like, "I know you can't beat him." Like, I don't know. Like, I think like it would make more sense to make Gable his corner man, and like I don't see them flipping Alpha Academy heel right now.
Yeah, well, I don't know necessarily like the whole group, but I mean him. I could see him making him a heel again, but I don't know. I mean, I was running through my mind. I mean, I'm not like, oh, this is what they're gonna do. It's not
right. It's just weird. It's just because I'm like we're running low on time here, guys. What are you gonna do with Gable?
Yeah,
like because it's like other guys. It's just like, okay, you've got these guys, and what are you gonna do? Like it's like I feel like Hanson. I feel like Ivar is gonna be the guy that wins the Andre Battle Royal this year because they got nothing else to give him right now.
You might as well. I mean, my God,
right?
Guy's 300 pounds and moves like a fucking cruiserweight. So.
Exactly. I mean, he's always been great.
Oh yeah. No, I
love Johnny.
I worked with him when he was the
Duke of Elegance.
Yeah, Don Chesterfield.
Yep.
I refereed a submission match with him and Christian Angers at Front Row Wrestling.
Oh wow!
Back in 07.
Yep.
I still had a full head back then.
Yeah, that's right. That's when he was doing the Duke of Elegance. He was tagging with Max Bauer. That's right. That was after the Handsome Johnny days, but before the Warbeard Hanson days. Yep. Oh God. Memories. Yeah. And then main event, Becky defeated Nia Jax in a last woman standing match. Great build up throughout the show with the backstage promos between the two, really hammering home the fact that Becky has never beaten Nia prior to this. They made Nia look formidable. And like, this is just another example, like, because I know a lot of people are always down on Nia, but since she's come back this time around, like, she has put in the work and she's been having great matches.
This run has been pretty good so far. Still not a great promo, but with work over time, it'll get better, I'm sure. But otherwise, I mean, she's been very, very formidable.
Yeah.
And built like a monster, which is what she should be.
Right.
So,
yeah.
She hits the Annihilator and anything like that, or just punches a girl in the face, you're gonna be like, "Oh fuck!"
Right?
And
now I just beg to wonder, like, what's she gonna do for Mania? Like,
yeah, who knows?
She's someone that needs a Mania payday.
yeah. There'll probably be some sort of interference, or maybe they'll bring back the women's battle royal thing and have her win it.
Right?
Because I remember they did that for a couple years, and then COVID.
Yeah.
And they stopped doing it, but
right. Yeah, they should do that. And then do the Andre the night, or do the women's night one and the Andre the night two, or vice versa. Yeah.
100%. That'd be
That's
great.
something they need to bring back. Stop doing the Andre Battle Royal on freaking SmackDown.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that really bummed me out that it's become like just a TV match now.
It's like, you don't get a Mania payday. Go to hell.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially when you have night one and night two, like you got plenty of time to get all the.
And they're starting it earlier this year.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, main show starts at 7 p.m. both nights this year.
Oh.
Yeah. So that means pre-show at 6.
Yeah. fucking throw it on. Even if it's on the pre-show, I would take that over to SmackDown.
I mean, like the battle royals usually were, but yeah. So, but there's no reason why they shouldn't have them.
Yeah, that should be in the stadium along with the other matches, not on SmackDown for sure.
Right. I think Trips won't be tone deaf to that. I think he knows, what to do in that situation.
That's true. This is going to be the first WrestleMania booking that's been all Triple H.
Yeah.
So
new era.
See what happens. So it could be very, very interesting.
Yep. So anyway, so that was Raw. So then we shall move on to oh yeah.
Roxanne versus Roxanne Perez versus Tatum to kick off the show.
Yeah. I like Roxanne. I don't like him flipping her heel.
Yeah, it's very because it's tough when you got a tiny girl being a heel. And she is 5'1", if that. So, I love Roxy. Great worker. She's moving there. She knows holds. And this match was very evident of that. She was throwing those submissions and working Tatum's arm.
Right. I don't know. I feel like Sean has it out for her for some reason. Like ever since she got there, like they threw the belt on her out of necessity because they had to fire Mandy. But then, after that, they gave her the injury angle, even though she wasn't injured, just so they could take the belt off her. But then,
it wasn't even an injury angle. Didn't they say it was anxiety or something like that?
No, they said she was injured, but then they said it was like an ankle injury or something. But then she was cleared and was able to work the Stand and Deliver last year. But then she didn't win the multi-woman ladder match, and then she spent a year I don't think she's been handled correctly. It's every time she starts getting momentum, something happens where there's some fuckery with her. There was that awful match a couple of months ago where she was still a babyface. She won via submission. The match is over. She releases the hold. She goes over, does something that I think it was against Ariana Grace. And Ariana Grace is like, you have issues. And then she goes and puts her in a crossface again. And the ref reverses the decision. And I'm like, the match was over. She released the hold. It's not the same as when you won't let the hold go after the ref has called it. There was a ref disqualified her for attacking her after the bell. I'm like, in that case, you need to disqualify everyone on every TV show. It was bad writing. It was, and it's just, it's, that's why I go off on tirades on Twitter saying Sean can't book, because Shawn Michaels is an amazing worker. Hell of a promo. Icon as far as in-ring goes, but there's a difference between being an in-ring worker and being a booker. Not everyone's cut out for both.
Yeah, that's true. But overall, I thought this was a decent match. Tatum, though, there was one point I noticed, and this is me nitpicking. So I think she's working her arm, right?
Yeah.
So she's got the bad arm. One point, then she's making a comeback. She hits a finisher. I'm guessing it's her finisher on Roxy.
Yeah.
And then uses the bad arm to cover Roxy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? And then she went back to selling after. It was like,
yeah,
come on, you gotta think about those little things.
Yep. And that's one of those things where it's not quite ready for TV, but it's one of those weird things. It's they want NXT to be its own entity, but
you got to teach them those little psychology things,
right?
Keep that stuff in mind, but
they need to up their house shows. Is what they need to do. I know they do short little tours around Florida. They need to add a few to those.
Yeah,
just so people, they get more crowd work that's not in front of that crowd.
Exactly. Yeah, they because they were doing that before the pandemic, and trying to fire it back up again. It needs, they need more reps.
Right, exactly. And you need it in front of different people, because I've expressed this numerous times, but I hate the PC crowd, because it's the majority of it's friends and family.
I was gonna say, yeah,
and then the rest is people who buy tickets ahead of time, like they use, because we like Shell knows a guy who has a friend who like would buy tickets when they were still at Full Sail, and it's the tickets are like $10 a piece, and you can buy tickets for like 3 months out, like all at once. So they just it's the same crowd and hardly any new people, and unfortunately, like I'm sure you've dealt with it at times, I know I have in the past, where you get these crowds where there's like a section of the crowd that thinks they run the show.
Oh, of course, yeah. You always,
and that it spreads like a virus. Yeah. And then you like we used to have a problem with the old DPW when we used to run shows. We used to run Sunday afternoon shows at our school in Waterbury, and we had this group of like these Portuguese dudes. And Ariel was our women's champ, but she was a heel. But she would come out, and it was like 12 of them, and they would come out, and like she would come out, and like she's trying to heal the crowd, but they're cheering her, Ariel, like waving a big Portuguese flag and shit. And I was just like, ugh!
Yeah. Stop hijacking the show, you pricks.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know that does happen.
Yeah,
but I mean, Roxy looked aggressive though, so at least she's trying.
Right.
Real thing.
Yeah. So then, tag team qualifying match to go towards the tag team title match at Stand and Deliver. Axiom and Nathan Frazier defeated Miles Bourne and Charlie Dempsey. Axiom and Frazier are okay. I've got no qualms with them. I like Charlie Dempsey. The other guy still needs a lot of work.
What's his name? The
Miles Bourne. Guy.
Miles Bourne. Yeah.
Like I forget his name most of the time. Like that kind of shows like how much an effect he has. Like,
well, I mean, I think they just kind of threw him into the group too.
Yeah, I mean, he was like the young boy and some vignettes and everything, and like I like Charlie Dempsey and I like Drew Gulak. I have no use for Miles Bourne or Damon Kemp.
Kemp. Kemp's very bland.
Yeah, like let's call a spade a spade. Kemp's only there because he's Gable Stevenson's brother.
Well, yeah. I mean, at least he can work better than his brother.
Because he didn't get sick. That's the problem with Stevenson is he got super sick.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that's why like everything he like I forget what it was, but it's like some serious illness he had and he could not train.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of people were like, why no, he was sick.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Yeah. But I mean, and it just I wouldn't have put this match together just because you're riding right off the heels of Charlie Dempsey winning the Heritage Cup.
Yeah.
Like, so it should have just been a different tag team in this situation and not anyone from the Catch crew. Or if you did it, it should have been Bourne and Kemp and not Charlie Dempsey in that at all. Because even though he didn't take the pin, it still doesn't look great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think with Frazier, though, man, he moves fast.
Yeah.
But it's almost too fast.
Yeah, he needs
eventually that's going to catch up with you.
Exactly.
You're going to slip up and you're going to hurt yourself or you're going to hurt someone else.
Right.
So, I mean, granted, they're exciting. I'll give them that. Very exciting.
Eventually, they're going to have to take that freaking mask off of Axiom.
Yeah, that's A Kid under there.
Yeah, that's A Kid. Yeah. I mean, and they keep having him alluding to that. He's like, oh, yeah, the first Heritage Cup champion or whatever, what happened to him? And like, it's like, dude, all you have to do is give him a better name. You didn't have to put him under a hood.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, Frazier needs to definitely slow the fuck down.
Yeah. The best thing out of that whole thing is Dempsey. It's Regal's kid, and it's very clear Regal's kid.
Yeah. I did like that little face off they had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was good.
That was nice. That was nice.
Nice little nod to people like us.
So then Saul Ruka defeated Brindley Reese. Reese is the girl that is what's her name's lackey? Kiana James.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo villain. She's a Scooby-Doo villain.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Right. But yeah. I mean, like,
I like Soul.
Yeah, it's good that she's healthy again because she was on the shelf with that torn ACL back when like all those girls tore their ACLs at the same time.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like a whole shitload of them.
Apparently, I like word was never verified, but supposedly it had something to do with one of the trainers in the PC going way too hard on them, and like that's why like it happened to all of them at once.
Jesus, well, I didn't hear about that, but
yeah, I think she's got a good future.
Yeah, she's the very athletic, doing handstands and everything. Like,
yeah, it's still the weirdest thing every time February comes around and they have a Black History Month poster and she's on it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. She's
Soul.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because she's mulatto, but like she's blonde hair. Like
yeah. Well, I'm sure it's dyed, but
no, I think it's actually like natural.
Oh, hers is natural? Oh,
yeah. But it's like, but she is so light skinned that people don't realize that
Oh, all right. Yeah, I
didn't. The first time I was like, is that a mistake? No.
Who edited this?
Right. Yep.
But yeah, she's good. The only thing is like I don't like babies versus babies.
Yeah.
It's way too much of that nowadays on every product.
Way too much of baby versus baby and heel versus heel.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
It's you gotta just pick a lane. It's do it every now and again when the story's right, sure, but
right.
God damn, like it's like every week.
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing, like, and I'm not complaining, but I am complaining. It's good that they're getting TV time, but I don't know if you've noticed it as much as I have, but NXT, especially like the past like half year, every episode has been really heavy on women's matches.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not a bad, I'm not saying like cut them down to one match, but it's like you go through a lot of regular episodes and like more than half the matches are women's matches.
Yeah, and the segments too.
Right.
Like they're all backstage segments and interference and this and that.
Right. And like, like I said, it's good that they're getting TV time, but it's like, if you're going to try to dedicate this much time, maybe consider doing an all women's program.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know it's a lot of plates to spin, it's
it's
wishful thinking.
Yeah. You get the TV time and
right.
Or stream it. And, now you're adding another hour or two a week to a pretty already stacked week of television.
Right.
Because you got 3 hours of Raw,
right,
2 hours of NXT, 2 hours of SmackDown. That's a lot.
And then you got 1 hour main event, 1 hour Level Up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
which I haven't watched Level Up in God knows how long, just because it's. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. It was like here's an hour, but it's 2 matches. Like
yeah. When it was still 205 live, I think, when they converted it to Level Up.
Yes.
They just weren't calling it Level Up yet, and I had stopped tuning out because the cruiserweight division was like, you could tell it was just being done away with. So it was like I didn't have a reason to watch anymore.
Right. Yeah, I watched like the first few episodes, and but I was like, it's basically it's the newest people from the PC having squash matches. Like, nothing really to hold my attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So then, Heritage Cup, Drew Gulak defeated Riley Osborne, and it's. Yeah. I have a problem with the execution of the Heritage Cup ever since it's come to NXT stateside.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of the Heritage Cup, like number one, I don't think it translates well to the American audience.
No.
Like I don't think they can fully grasp the whole British round system and all that stuff. Like it's just it's too many rules.
Yeah.
My problem is the Heritage Cup was designed to be just regular British rounds, catch as catch can, basic wrestling. Yep. But if you look, especially during Noam Dar's reign, but even now, every Heritage Cup match has outside interference fuckery in it.
Oh yeah,
I'm
big
like,
time.
what's the point? Like that complete, like, does Sean know what British catch style is? Does he know that you're not supposed to? It's just overbooked.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but I think a lot of that too has to do with the fact they have so many people on the payroll, and you've only got 2 hours of television, and you're trying to squeeze everybody in. And but the way they format this show too, it's nuts. Like
It's
people people are coming out for a match, then they cut the commercial.
Mm-hmm.
You come back from commercial, it's a backstage segment, and then a replay or something.
Right.
And then, oh, hey, yeah, that's right. There's a match going on. People are
Right.
entering for a match. It's like, and they do that multiple times through the show.
Right.
I'm like, this format is driving me fucking crazy.
Right.
Like I think I made a note of that too. Yeah. Because they did that a little later with like Duke, Thea, and Ava, and then meanwhile, like the Good Brothers had already made their entrance.
Right.
OC. And then they go to that, and it's just like the fucking show's all over the place.
Right.
It's fucking ridiculous. Like just one thing at a time.
Right.
Like, you know,
like they're really going to need to consider like a cleaner format when they do the switch over to the CW in the fall.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're really going to need to tighten things up.
Yeah, just stick with one thing at a time.
Right. And like honestly, like because there's been a lot of word that like Sean wants to go join Trips up, helping out with the main roster. So it's like, go let Road Dogg and Matt Bloom and a couple other people run the PC. Like,
yeah.
Like they could, Road Dogg will know how to book. He'll book it like it's Memphis. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Let him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having like a Memphis type format. I love that shit.
Yeah. I said it a couple of times before, but I honestly think when they do that transition to CW, they need to find one or two venues in the Florida area, like the Florida Armory, where like Championship Wrestling from Florida used to be held, that holds a little bit more than what they have, but not too many, that can hold like 10 to 15, like 1,000 to 1,500 people. Yeah. Just so it has more of an arena look.
Yeah.
And you're getting the general public in there.
Yeah, or find some sort of concert venue or theater.
Right.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be anything huge. You don't need to bring them to whatever they run for TV regularly.
Right, exactly. But just something in the Florida area where it's like, get these kids to pay dues, make them go out, work ring crew, all that stuff to keep your costs down.
Yeah, right.
We had to do it.
Oh shit.
How many times I've had to schlep a damn ring?
Oh my god, yeah. Dude, fucking I'm 20 years in and I still do it sometimes.
Right. Still setting up chairs, still
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It
never stops.
Never. Nope, not at all.
Never stops.
It's part of the game though. Mm-hmm. But yeah, back to the British rounds thing. It definitely doesn't translate well to the U.S. audience. But Gulak, fucking love his work in there.
Hell yeah, love Drew.
Love his work. I thought he carried Riley. You can tell like he carried Riley because Riley didn't look that bad.
Yeah, exactly. And Riley, like I think Riley has some potential eventually. Just
for sure, yeah.
He'll get there someday.
Yeah.
I think they really need to do something with Duke Hudson. I think he's done all he can do in NXT.
He was doing something else, and then the roster.
He was one of those guys that like when COVID hit, they were like, oh well, let's just throw him on the main roster since there's no people, and they gave him MVP for like 2 weeks as a manager, and then they were like, nope.
Oh shit! They did that with him.
He was Brandon Vink.
Oh my!
That was Duke. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there's so much shit that's come and gone, man. I can't even I remember it all.
Right. But I mean, so he's been in developmental for almost 5 years. Like, kind of,
yeah. Oh, I mean, Christ. I mean, they did the same thing with Tyler Breeze. He was in developmental forever, and Dusty kept he said it a bunch. He goes, Dusty would come up to me and go, I don't know why you're still here. You're ready.
It's because Vince didn't want another Shawn. That was why.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
it's a shame.
Mm-hmm. It is. There's some people like it's one of those things where there's some people that have been down there so long and it's just like shit or get off the pot. But then there's other people that they just shove right onto the main roster, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, they fast track people. It shouldn't be fast track. Like fucking almost like my God, like
well
7 foot tall. I get it, but God
that's one of those things with Omos. I saw them do it because it's just what are you gonna do with them in developmental? But I mean, that's, I'm not saying you can use him weekly on WWE TV, but he's an attraction. And like, I mean, we haven't seen him since what, Mania last year at this point, except for maybe one appearance.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the only good thing about him was that he had MVP as a mouthpiece.
Right.
And the match with Lesnar was it just buried him. Like he didn't do much. And I think it was maybe 5 minutes it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that also had a lot to do with Brock.
Oh, I'm sure, but, yeah, it just didn't do the guy any favors.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, because I'm pretty sure he knows English, like he can speak some, like get him in some promo classes so we can at least do a little bit.
Yeah, did you ever see the video of him from Mania weekend like 2 years ago, like rapping Nas?
No,
it's either Nas or Wu-Tang. I forget which, but it's out there. It's hilarious.
Oh,
like he is on point on the stage at this like thing, just freaking spitting.
As the kids say.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
now they got Obafemi. And,
I like him. He's got a good look, but
this is my issue. I think he has all the potential in the world. I do. Yeah. I think one day he will be there. I think it was the worst mistake in the world putting the freaking mid-card title on him after freaking 3 matches. Yeah. And then also letting people know he's only had 3 matches.
Yeah.
Like all that does is deface whatever legacy you're trying to give. Like, and also, and I hope the dude is humble enough to stay humble, but it's when you do shit like that guys get big heads and you create another Brock Lesnar out of it. And that's not a good thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, that's a valid point. Guy's got a hell of a look. I mean, he looks looking at him, it looks like, oh shit, I don't know, fuck with
right.
This, and hopefully, because they're gonna probably do a triple threat at Stand and Deliver at this point.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good. It's all 3 big guys,
right?
Oba and
Dijak and Briggs.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I don't know if did you watch the last NXT thing, the one with the Iron Survivor?
Yeah, the Iron Survivor.
the one that the pay-per-view, whatever it was, the PLA or whatever that, but yeah. There was one thing that was really odd to me during that was because like when the Iron Survivor match started, it was Briggs and Dijak, and these are 2 guys who basically trained together.
Yeah,
but there was like they kept missing spots that they were doing. I was like, you guys know each other better than this. Like, I don't know what happened that night. I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't happen again because, like, God, you can work each other in your sleep. Come on.
Right.
Like you came from the same place.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully maybe it was just an off night. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, because I honestly I think Briggs is almost due to go up to the main. I think Dijak's time to go back to the main is due.
Yeah, oh yeah. And as long as they don't give him another
T-bar Jimmy.
Yeah, my God.
I'm mad that he didn't. Did you see they brought the Slammies back?
No.
Yeah, they brought the Slammies back. It's an online voting thing on WWE.com, and they have like male star, female star, match of the year, blah blah blah. They have a category for most social. And Dijak's not nominated. And Dijak's like, because I don't know if you've noticed his shit on Twitter lately. He's gone out and he's ratioing everyone. That's his thing. Oh, yeah. Like he even like made his own T-shirt. It's just him flipping you off, and it just says ratio over his eyes with a black bar.
Oh my god.
Like, I want that shirt.
That's funny. Yeah, I like him too. He actually stopped in the Next Gen a few times when we first opened.
Chris is a great dude.
Yeah.
He deserves everything that he gets.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, him, Briggs.
Same in Briggs. Yeah, Briggs, I was so happy the day I heard he got signed. And then I'm just like, okay, it's been 4 years.
Yep. And Carmelo. And Carmelo too. Being
right. Oh, God, dude.
My God.
I have so many issues with the fact that Melo is not on the main roster right now and that they still got him in NXT doing this shit. Like, Christian that kid is so great and so nice. And and the problem is that him being in NXT is Sean trying to freaking keep his claws on him. Because Melo even did it. He did an interview a few months ago where he's like, the reason Sean keeps me in NXT, and Sean's like, you're not ready. You need to build a foundation for your house before you build the house. Blah, blah. It's like, dude, he's been here long enough. You've got Grayson fucking Waller on the main roster who belongs nowhere near the main roster.
I don't even want him in wrestling.
Right. Like, he hurts people. Like, people got hurt and we're out for months because of Grayson Waller. But he's on SmackDown, and Melo is still doing this shit down here.
Yeah, and they're too having him with Austin Theory is like, oh god,
right? Like,
bad for Theory.
Right. I like Theory. Theory will overcome everything eventually.
Yeah,
like,
he will.
That kid's got a bright future. He's just in one of those sour spots right now. He'll get there eventually. But yeah, having him and Waller together is poison.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, we'll finish off NXT.
Oh yeah,
Gallows and Anderson defeated Tank Ledger and Hank Walker.
Yeah,
you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, Hank and Tank,
they're green. They'll get there eventually, but they're like the new heavy machinery right now.
Yeah, basically, and they need new gear like yesterday.
Yeah,
we're wrestling in denim cut-off shorts and cut-off work shirts is
but I mean they'll get there. It's having Gallows and Anderson in developmental just makes no sense to me.
I mean, I can see where they can help elevate young guys because they've been around,
I guess,
but at the same time they are being wasted. I would just make them heels, put them on their. They're not doing anything with AJ. Mia Yim is just their supporting role at this point.
Right.
Split them the fuck up. Let OC be on their own. Let AJ do his thing and let Mia do her thing.
Yeah. I mean, supposedly there's some rumbling of the reason they're down there is so they can do some shit with Tama Tonga when he debuts.
Oh, okay.
So I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, save it for the debut. I mean,
right.
The tag team division is hurting enough as it is on the main roster. There's like, how many solid tag teams are there? There's not that many.
Right. Yeah. It's weird. It's a flux. It's like there's tag teams there, but there's not a lot of tag teams that you can elevate. Like, it's a weird situation.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know it's a mean thing to say, but I'm kind of looking forward to the next round of cuts in NXT just so they can trim some of the fat and have other people featured. Like,
yeah,
because there's a lot of people there that I'm like, why do you still have a job? And I know it's a mean thing to say, but I don't understand why Grayson Waller still has a job. Like, I don't understand. Well, I understand why, but I don't understand why Tiffany Stratton is getting pushed so much. Like, okay, you're a Barbie doll and you can do a moonsault. Yay.
Tiffany. Oh, yeah. I mean, I like her, but I thought the push to the main roster was just a little too soon.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think she'll be something good one day, I think.
I don't know. I think Thea Hale has all the potential in the world. I think doing this little side quest with trying to turn her heel and failing, and then doing this dating thing, like none of it works. Like you can't take a girl that's that charismatic and then be like, "Oh, I'm so nervous because a boy said hi to me." Like, not when a girl looks like that. It doesn't work. Like,
yeah, I mean, she's yeah, she's fucking jacked. So
right. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I know it's weird.
Like, I'm not sure like what they're gonna do with Chase U. Like, I don't see that as a main roster type of gimmick.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, and like I like like Andre Chase. Like Harlem Bravado's always been a solid like talker. I just don't see him as it's hard to make him a manager because he's so tall. I mean, I know that from experience. But so many times I can't have you manager. Why? You're too tall.
Yep.
But I mean, it's like, what else are you gonna do with them? Like,
yeah,
I don't. It's a weird situation.
It is.
Yeah, and so then what was the next match? Trick Williams defeated Noam Dar. I don't understand why Noam Dar still has a job.
I mean,
he's a solid hand. Okay, yay, but
I like him. He's a good promo. He can be entertaining. But yeah, throwing him in the main event with Trick was.
Yeah, I have no use for any of Metaphor. I don't understand how Lash Legend has a job. Like she's people.
She is. Ooh.
I was so mad when they announced they released Amari Miller. I'm like, dude, why did you release her? Lash Legend is the one that injured her on several occasions.
Yeah, I heard there was one match she did, and they had to like heavily edit it just so it could make air, and that was on Level Up.
Yeah, they did that, and then
that's bad.
Right, and then I specifically remember Amari Miller was hurt, and then when she came back, her first match back on TV was against Lash again, and the moment they have Lash coming in, you look in the ring, and Amari just has this look of terror on her face, like. Because she was like, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
And then because it sucks because like there was a clip that got released a couple of weeks ago of Liv Morgan training, like when she was like just getting cleared again. Mm-hmm. And she was training in a ring with Amari, and everyone's like, who's the girl? She's really good. I'm like, they fucking released her.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah. So Trick Williams, he has $1 million look. He will get there eventually. I don't think he should be where he is currently.
I mean, you're right. He's got a good look in that respect. He cuts a good promo. The guy can talk. He's charismatic.
See,
he's not as good as Mello.
He cuts a good promo in front of that crowd.
Yeah.
And this is what I've talked about when I talk about you need different people, because he's too used to those people. It's kind of like high school assembly. You already know who's there. It's it's the pep rally and there's your friends. Yeah. So it's fine. But remember when that 2 days he was North American champion and they brought him up on Raw and he was just cutting a backstage promo and he was slipping.
I have to look at that. I don't remember.
Yeah. Like he didn't have the confidence, and he wasn't even in front of people.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. He'll get there eventually, but it seemed like it was just out of nowhere. Where one day they were like, "We're going to push Trick Williams to the moon," and it's because the crowd has something to chant. And I'm like, that it was funny because what was it called when they were in Memphis a couple weeks ago. And Corey Graves didn't understand why the crowd was chanting "Whoop that trick." It's like, because it's a Memphis Grizzlies chant.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, that's why like people caught on to it. That crowd in NXT, they had something to chant. It's that Pavlovian response. And like I saw, like the kid will get there.
Yeah.
But they're pushing him too fast in this case. And in all honesty, like they should really make the match of Stand and Deliver between him and Mello be, loser leaves NXT. Just have Mello do the job for him and then show up on Raw.
Yeah. I mean, well, shit. I think they already had Mello on SmackDown.
They did a few times. He was in the tournament. He was in that tournament for the U.S. title and lost in the second round.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but he was on SmackDown a few times, and the crowd is reacting to him.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's Mello needs to get away from Trick. Trick needs to sink or swim on his own right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's so let them have their match, and then Trick needs to work on his own. He needs the security blanket gone.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping he makes it, because like I said, he's got a great look. But under current circumstances, he still needs work. I have no use for the main event for Stand and Deliver. I love Ilya. I can't stand Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah, that kind of I felt like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because it's like we were going to get Ilya versus Mello 4, which would have been good.
Yeah, I mean, Tony, like he works okay in the ring, but the gimmick is very dated. I mean, there's no mafias.
It's like The Sopranos hasn't been on TV in 15 years.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since the first time I saw him, I'm like, what, did Vince show up at the PC one day and he saw this kid doing a bad De Niro impression and he's like, make him this?
Yeah, for real.
And it's like, and he had the two lackeys, and then one of them purposely failed a drug test so he could go work for AEW. And so then they're like, a year and a half later, they're like, oh yeah, so they take this new Italian kid and put him with them for, and it's just like, I don't.
Now they added a Jersey Shore type chick to the.
Yeah. Oh God. I'm like, I don't, and they're baby faces. Like,
yeah,
there was never a rhyme or reason.
Yeah, not at all. And then, and Ilya I think he's supposed to be a baby face too.
Yeah, so it's a baby versus baby main event, and
how are you gonna get? Why are people gonna care? There's no heat,
right?
They're gonna be just cheering for both of them. It's like
Like they did that cinematic thing with them on the bridge. They pull Ilya out of the trunk, and then he's like, "I hope you have a nice walk back." I'm like, "There's 3 cameras here."
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that I know. Yeah, that stuff's.
It's one of those things where it's like there's certain parts of the story that are missing here, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, the WWE's been famous for that though for quite a while. Like,
true.
Oh my God! Like, what's going on backstage? Oh, there's a camera there.
Right. But yeah, and it's another one of those. It's like I feel like Sean wants to hold on to Ilya as long as he can, because it's like once you put Ilya on the main roster, like he's smaller than a lot of the guys. So what are you going to do with him?
Yeah, I mean, he works hard though.
Oh yeah, nothing against his work.
Yeah,
great worker.
I like Ilya Dragunov.
Yep. He needs to keep the facial hair. Without the facial hair, he just looks like he's 15.
Yeah. It's a case of a lot of these guys now.
True story.
Yeah.
That's why we have beards.
Especially after.
I still got mine. Oh, jeez.
It's like Chernobyl up here. Nothing grows.
Get you some keeps. Just slather it on like the Freebird cream. You get the hairpiece like Deadpool.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait for that movie. By the way,
me too. You see the new Ghostbusters yet?
Did the movie come out?
Frozen Empire came out this weekend.
Oh shit! Oh no,
I saw it on Friday.
No, I usually don't make the real effort to keep track of when stuff's going out to go see it in theaters unless it's Marvel. I'll be straight with you, but
same here. Yeah,
but I did finally watch Afterlife sometime last fall, and I enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah.
It'll probably be the same thing once it's on.
Oh, okay.
Max
it's a good watch. It's a good watch.
It was good. Yeah, good.
Yeah. My buddy was debating because we got there. We went to a matinee, and at the concession stand, they had like they had the traps for sale for $40. And I was like, "You gonna get one?" And he's like, "I'm debating." He ended up not. I was like, "You should have, dude." Like, and they had like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man like stand up too. Like, dude, you should have gotten it. No Dune popcorn buckets though, so no fleshlights.
Yeah. Fleshlight popcorn bucket. Man, that thing becomes an internet meme in about 20 seconds.
Dude, they did an SNL bit about it.
My
Like,
God.
did you see that shit?
What was it?
The SNL did like a music video about the SNL about the Dune popcorn. Like, it was like a month ago. I'll send it to you in your DMs. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move along to SmackDown.
Oh yeah, on to Friday.
Yeah.
That's
So
sweet.
what do you call it? Like I said, I caught most of the recap stuff on YouTube from SmackDown because I was out for dinner with the wife and a work friend of hers. So,
yeah, I watched it on Hulu yesterday because I had a show Friday night. I was ring announcing down in Middleborough, Mass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, good crowd, like 500-600 people. Benefit for the school there.
Nice.
Top Row Promotions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, making my usual rounds.
Yeah, that's good. I forgot to message you because I don't know if she found one or not, but I know Tara Calloway was looking for a ring announcer for her next Dropkick Depression show. So
where's that at?
I think it's in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll see if she found one or not because she was considering. She's like, I'm not wrestling anymore and I'm not doing anything on the show. You think I should? She's like, I really have never done before. Like, she was writing it on Twitter and I'm like, there's ring announcers around. It's like,
hey, I mean, I've never left New England as far as working a show, so I'd like to knock that off my bucket list. Yeah.
I've done a little bit of Jersey. I've never actually worked New York just because all the like shit that happens in New York with the athletic commissions and shit. So.
Oh yeah, I know New York stuff. I've never worked New York either. Like I said, I never left the New England borders to work. But yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see. So Santos Escobar beat Ray via pinfall after a Phantom Driver after distraction from Dominic.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going for Ray versus Dom again at freaking Mania.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I thought they did what they did last year was perfect. And
right. Like unless they add Dom in and they do like Legato and Dom versus Ray, Dragon Lee, and Carlito, and because one of I forget, it's either Joaquin or Cruz. One of them's hurt, I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
But if they do like a 8-man with the others, like they could do that.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good night one. Like,
right.
Put that in the middle of the card on night one. That'd be great.
Right, because you figure somewhere along the line we're gonna get a blow off of Final Testament against the Pride.
Yeah,
like we're gonna have to have that at Mania. Like if you don't, like why would spend all this build up for?
Right.
That's it's like I don't see that like happening on a random episode of SmackDown. Like it shouldn't.
Yeah. That's a pay-per-view or PLE.
Right. Yeah. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller defeated the OC via pinfall with a roll up to advance in the tournament. Obviously, because the OC are doing stuff down in NXT, so you're not going to have them going for the NXT tag belts and going for the main tag belts. Yeah. That's another. So I'm gonna be completely frank with you in a little bit, and we're gonna see how much we disagree on stuff. But Io Sky defeated Naomi. Obviously, you got to have Io looking strong going into Mania.
She's the champion, so
right, exactly. They officially announced. I actually have a graphic for this. Where are you?
Oh, yes.
Next week, Jade Cargill will make her first appearance as a SmackDown superstar. I don't know how to feel about that. I think she should have spent a little bit of time in NXT.
I actually have gone back and forth on that myself, and because, amazing look. athletic girl, strong.
But had to break a lot of bad habits.
Exactly. There's a lot of things that's got to be done. Hopefully they've had her at the PC and maybe
I'm sure she's been at the PC nonstop.
Off-air practice matches down there with people who could help her out, and hopefully maybe like, oh, hey, maybe we can fast track her after all, but I mean, we have to wait and see.
Right.
We got to see her work first, and then we can make that judgment call.
Right. It kind of irks me that there's been no news about her working like any of the NXT house shows. Like,
yeah, I mean, I get it because she is such a name.
Yeah, they did right by treating her like a star, like from the beginning.
So. Yeah, well, it added a huge amount of hype to the program. And oh, puppy dog. Nice.
It's like, Daddy's got cookies up here.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, time will tell.
Yeah. Yeah, see how she works first, and then
I mean, she did okay in the Rumble, so I can't complain.
Yeah, but Rumbles are easy, and all she had to do is show off her strength. I mean, that's the key factor. She's like similar to Charlotte or Rhea.
Yeah.
She's tall, she's strong.
Yeah. I just hope they're smart enough to hold off as long as possible on doing her and Bianca.
Yeah.
Because that's what everyone's going to be expecting right off the bat. So they need to hold that off.
Yeah. Well, even in her and Charlotte too, I've heard that throwing around.
Right. But I mean, Charlotte's injured right now. So you can hold that off.
That's already down the line for sure. But yeah, you got to start her off with something,
Right. But like her and Bianca needs to be like Sabu and Taz. Like, you don't touch for a good long time.
Yeah. You build it up for a month or two.
At least. Why do you just do it? It's okay. Like, that should be like Survivor Series. Like, not even SummerSlam. Survivor Series is what that
Yeah. There you go. You build it up for months and months.
Yeah. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton challenged Pretty Deadly to a tag team match for next week, and Owens did the 2-face punch. It's interesting. Like I honestly thought during the Elimination Chamber, the whole build was going to be LA Knight pinning Logan Paul to do LA Knight versus Logan Paul at Mania, and instead they decided, and I was like, oh, they're going to do Orton and Paul, but no, they're still including Kevin Owens. So I feel like,
another triple threat for a mid-card title.
Yeah, it's a triple threat. I'm not sure if they're going to take the belt off of him though.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell where they're going to go.
Right.
That direction.
It's hard because, like, I mean, it would make sense. You've got a triple threat, so that way he can lose it without getting pinned or whatnot, or even if he does, like, it's different circumstances because you've already got one champion who doesn't defend on your TV a lot, like, unless Logan Paul goes to a more weekly deal. Because they announced SummerSlam is in Cleveland. And Logan Paul's all over that because that's where he lives.
Yeah, that's where he's from. So he'll be heavily featured on that. But
right, so it's like,
you can feature him without a title,
right? So it's the question of do you feature it as I'm the champion defending, or I'm chasing back to get my belt back in my hometown?
Yeah, or just put him in another rivalry because he doesn't. That's the type of person you don't need to put a belt on him to draw,
right?
Especially when it's going to be his hometown.
Right. I kind of didn't understand why they put the U.S. title on him in the first place. Like, I don't think it's bad because obviously he's got what it takes, but it just
Yeah. Especially I don't like part-time champions.
Right.
It's one thing to do it with Roman.
Right.
Especially where Roman,
Roman worked his ass off to get where he is,
and he's got the leukemia thing. So you want to try to keep him healthy. Especially in today's times right now, you got to be careful about COVID,
right?
Bullshit, but the U.S. belt, that's your mid-card belt.
Yeah,
like that's where you make your next main eventers. Like you need to have that belt featured,
right?
And you need to have the guys who are contenders for that featured,
right?
So that way, those guys eventually, when they're done with that part, now they can move on to the Universal title or that
Right.
title.
The undisputed, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a weird thing too, because like when you look at like the mid card on SmackDown, it's kind of odd. Like, as for like, I mean, Orton and Owens, okay, they are where they are, but besides that, like everyone else is kind of ensconced in something else. So like, who are you trying to push? Of course, I know there's someone they're trying to push that I don't quite agree with.
Yeah.
And that's we'll get to that. Let me just see here. Well, so they did a segment where LA Knight was arrested after attacking AJ Styles at his house.
Yeah.
I feel like and I was never big on Eli Drake. It is what it is. I feel like this is the consolation prize Mania payday match.
Yeah, I mean, I've also though, because you got AJ, who's the guy's amazing. LA Knight, great talker, does pretty good in there. He connects with the fans. It could be a dark horse match. That could.
Yeah, it just I think that the LA Knight experiment has ended. I think he's cooled off. Like, they were pushing him for a bit to be the guy, and then they were like, and I think that's why he's not in that US title match now.
Yeah, also, I mean, because people were comparing him to The Rock, and now The Rock's back, so it's like maybe that has something to do with it. But I think we glossed over Street Profits and AOP.
Yeah, I did. I just realized I skipped right over. Or no, it's the next thing. It was the next segment.
I had it in different order. Maybe I had it out of order.
Okay, yeah. The Street Profits going over the AOP, and you ought to we know how this is going to play out. We know next week in the semifinals, the AOP is going to cost the Street Profits their match.
Yeah, exactly, and then it'll probably lead to some 6-man Mania match.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny too, because months ago, I made a prediction on the show with Brian where I said Mania is going to feature a 4-way tag team ladder match for the tag belts, and I named off some teams, and I thought that Profits and AOP would both be in it, but apparently they're going to keep them on their own thing. But I was close on that prediction. We just got a 6-team ladder match.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, that's going to be that match is. I hope it's good, but that match is going to be a clusterfuck. That's 12 guys out there, plus people like any like outliers. Like, good lord,
yeah,
12 guys and ladders.
Yep, it's going to be a car crash waiting to happen.
Yeah, like damn. But there's one other thing. There was a promo package that happened on SmackDown, and that was to hype Braun Breaker.
Yep. You're not feeling it?
Nope. Ever since NXT, like when he first showed up.
Really?
I think that he's going to get a big head way too fast. And I think the crowd's not going to connect with him.
I mean, I like his energy. I just wish he would have something else besides the spear, because everyone uses the spear now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the spear is the new super kick.
Yep.
Granted, I'm sure that wasn't all him. I'm sure someone was like, "Oh, hey, you're going to use the spear." But,
right. But I mean, like, I don't take that whole thing of like he runs the ropes at 27 miles an hour. That's how fast Usain Bolt runs. Like, stop it.
Yeah, I know they're pushing that. It's just saying whatever they can to get him over.
Right. I feel like they're gonna give him that Goldberg Ryback push, and the crowds aren't gonna dig it. And I think he's gonna end up being the next Mojo Rawley.
Ooh.
I think he was pushed too hard in NXT. And it was because I never got the whole like Cornette. He's like, he works like a natural. I'm like, what are you watching? Like he needs to slow the fuck down. He needs to.
He does too fast sometimes. He did have that instant where like he kind of hit the ropes and he
almost knocked himself out of bouncing off the ropes. Like, bro.
Yeah, that I mean, granted, overall, I don't think he's been that bad.
Yeah, people keep saying he's the next Roman. I don't see it.
It might be saying too much too soon, but I think there's something there. I think there's something there, and he's got you can tell he's, like
I think he's way more Rick than he is Scott.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and that's just Rick was never the guy.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
we'll see. I'm not big on Braun Breaker.
Yeah. I'm just sick and tired of 1,000 people using the spear. That's my big complaint.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah. And that was SmackDown. We got 2 more SmackDowns to go before Mania, and like the go home SmackDown is still up in the air. But I mean, we're looking more forward to the Hall of Fame.
I did like the final segment though. SmackDown was.
I completely almost glossed over. Freaking Roman and Cody. I think
it was cool. They had everyone come out from the crowd.
Yeah, I think this it was one of those things that exposed Cody though, as far as who cuts a better promo. I'm tired of Cody Rhodes. I've been tired of Cody Rhodes for a long time.
Yeah.
I've had an issue ever since he was still on the Indies.
Oh, after he left WWE back.
Yeah, for a guy to be that petty about some things, I have issues with, and I've never cared about anything he's done ever since. And the whole finish the story thing is stale to me. Like it's that ongoing joke, it's the ongoing joke. How do you know if someone's vegan? Just wait 5 minutes, they'll tell you. It's like, did you know Cody's Dusty's son? Just wait 5 minutes, he'll tell you. Like that's his whole thing. Like I'm tired of it. Like it's Dustin made a career for years. Like he got out of Dusty's shadow and did his own shit.
Yeah.
And Cody, when you look at it, if you look back through the annals of it, Cody never wanted to be a wrestler. Cody wanted to be an actor. He's openly admitted that shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like acting failed, so he became a wrestler. And ever since then, it's been, I'm Dusty's kid. I don't care. I love Dusty. That doesn't mean I have to love you.
Yeah, my one complaint about Cody is how he usually holds the mic like a wine glass.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's probably the one complaint I really had with him. Other than that, I mean, when he's in the ring, he's pretty good. Fires up, gets the crowd's into him. So, I mean, he's getting that reaction.
They're going to turn on him eventually.
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah, I mean,
crowds are fickle.
Then you can get a good heel run out of him.
I feel like they're going to be like, it's time to turn you heel. And then he's going to throw a fit and be like, I don't want to turn heel.
Who knows?
I think the major problem with all of this build is it's really made Seth Rollins' title look like a nothing belt.
Oh, that's been like that for
I never agreed with them making it in the first place.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, we're making another world title. Why? It feels like even less now.
It's just, again, more championships is not the answer.
Right. And honestly, my prediction is at Mania that we're going to get a Seth heel turn and Seth's going to cost Cody the match.
I can see that.
And I honestly think that Seth's probably going to drop the belt to Drew before that happens.
Oh, you think they'll do the match before the tag match?
Yeah. Well, no, I think Seth and Cody are going to go through with the tag match on night 1, but I think on night 2, I think Seth's going to drop the belt to Drew.
Okay.
But then in the main event, Seth's going to go out to help Cody
and
end up costing him. Okay. And the catalyst of that will be basically Seth saying, I told you from the beginning you should have gone for my title because it would have been an honorable match and it would have been the workhorse's title and it would have been the title that meant something, and you made me and my title look like absolutely nothing. And he's like, and the thing is, like, even if they keep Drew heel, they can be like, I can at least respect Drew McIntyre because Drew saw the value in that title and is carrying on that legacy. Like, do something like that, because having Cody and Seth teaming after War Games, there's too many questions to arise, because there was the whole thing leading into War Games where Seth was like, you and I hate each other. Just for this one night, we won't hate each other.
Right.
But now they're best buddies. Like there's something missing there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're going to lean on.
Because Seth does great as a heel anyway, so.
Right. Seth's great as a heel. And like, I don't care who says it means nothing. Roman is holding that belt until he surpasses Hogan's record. He's only got to hold it until fall to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's got to, so that way they can just look up and say the top 3 champions of all time: Bruno, Backlund, Roman.
Yeah.
And they just needs to. And like I laid out a few months ago, like the way, if they want Cody to finish the story, the way they need to do it is Cody needs to have his victory in Madison Square Garden, whether it be at a PLE near the end of the year or the first episode of Raw on Netflix. Something to that, because his whole thing is the title thing, my daddy in the garden. So then have his title win be in the garden.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'll be happy with it, but is this a good ending or a bad ending? It's an ending. That's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah. Because in all honesty, that's the problem: is you put the title on Cody, then what?
Yeah.
You don't have any contenders right now. Like, it's like I still think that like Roman's going to turn babyface while he's still champion. Somewhere along the line, Roman's going to turn babyface. And I feel like if you want to have, like, they should have Gunther take the freaking belt off of him eventually.
I love Gunther.
Hell yes. Like, you got to talk monster heel. He's right there.
That guy's going to be,
have Gunther take the belt off Roman somewhere around like SummerSlam or whatever. Maybe have Roman regain it before Mania next year, because obviously Roman and Rock will have their match at Mania next year, and we'll see if the title's part of it.
Yeah,
but
for a match like that, though, you wouldn't need the title.
Yes and no.
Rock and Roman, you think?
It all depends. Like, they should have done it this year. I don't agree with them listening to stupid people online and switching everything. It should have just been Rock and Roman for the belts. But don't succumb to the IWC. Nothing good ever comes of it. I used to tell that to Eric. He wouldn't listen. Well, I loved that man, but he listened to people on Facebook too much.
Yeah, that happens with a lot of people.
I was like, why the fuck are you booking Big O again? Well, because people want him. 3 people asked you to bring him back. 3!
Yeah, nice guy, but yeah, not very great in the ring.
Didn't know what cardio was.
Yeah, you would. I mean, body guy, obviously. Yeah,
right.
Cardio.
Yeah, the wife loves telling a story of like the first NEFW show I worked was with him on it, and she watched him go like pick up a table to set up his merch table, and he carried it like halfway across the gym and had to stop and got winded. It's like, dude, cardio.
Damn, that's funny. Oh, geez.
Yeah. So anyway, so Mania's in a couple of weeks. We pretty much got most of the cards set out. One thing I just wanted to touch on was like we all know that when Mania weekend comes around, there's a bunch of indies that run around the area, and this year's no exception. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of the shows. And trust, like, I found a list. They're starting Mania week shows on Monday.
Oh wow!
Literally
week-long deal.
H2O and the Monster Factory are both running shows every day of the week starting Monday.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I mean, good on Matt Tremont and good on good on Danny Cage. I almost forgot Dan's name. Holy shit! Good on Danny Cage for deciding to go full bore on it.
Yeah,
but yeah, and it's but there was a big snafu because there was a whole series of shows that got canceled already because the venue backed out. Because I talked to Peter DeLong. He does commentary for a lot of companies, and he was supposed to do some stuff for a few companies, and they got canceled. Like you can't say last minute because it's still a couple of weeks away. Yep. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff that was supposed to happen to the Arts Ballroom in Philly. It was under the label of Rexfest. All got canceled.
No shit.
Yeah, like they were supposed to be like a Dragon Gate show that happened there, got canceled, and like I'm scrolling through, looks like the extra page open, but yeah, apparently that venue just said no. Rex says to me, the Arts Ballroom, yep, all of them, yeah. It put a wrench in a lot of people's works because a lot of people already took other bookings for the weekend, and can't fit in. So, I was actually talking to Logan Black, who runs the T2T school in New York. And he was talking about how, like, there were offers to fill in spots because not only are they starting shows on Monday, but there's places that are running shows like starting on Wednesday, starting at like noon, and there's a show every 2 hours. Like, and so they were offering they were offering indies like 2-hour blocks in these places. It's just like the ring's already set up. Pay us for these 2 hours, come in. But it was like some of these places, some of the people that got the licenses that rented the venues were trying to bilk some of these smaller indies out of a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I mean, but that's the nature of the biz, isn't it?
Oh yeah, there's always a succubus out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But but just a couple things I want to point out. So starting on Wednesday, starting on the 3rd, April 3rd is, I believe that's Wednesday. Yeah, that's Wednesday. Attic Brewing Company in Philly is actually running several shows. But they start on Wednesday. The first show is called Wrestle John, because of course, you're in Philly. But that's what do you call it? That's the first one. That's a 6 p.m. show that's being featured with Mike Bailey against Paul London, Cheeseburger against Weber Hatfield, and the Colony, which is Electro Ant, Worker Ant, and Ultimo Ant, versus Cyber Hacks, which is Danger Hawk, Razor Hawk, and Thunderhawk. Those are all like ex Chikara guys. Chikara's long gone, but they're still kind of holding the torch. Razorhawk is the guy that is super mad at WWE because Axiom has the same mask, and apparently he's been trying to sue WWE, claiming they stole his gimmick for like a few years. I don't know whatever came of it. I just know that was like a big thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. And then on the 4th, 11 a.m. on Thursday the 4th, the auditorium at Penn's Landing Caterers, which is Penn's Landing is like this catering hall where like a lot of the shows are being handled. Like that was like one of the first venues that we heard about, where we were like, because we're like, obviously it's in Philly, everyone's going to be debating for the 2300, but so you got to find other venues. But Penn's Landing, the first one, All Caribbean Wrestling, or no, sorry, Defy Wrestling. That's being headlined by their world champion, Kenta is defending against Gringo Loco, and their women's championship match, Vert Vixen versus Trisha Dora versus Sawyer Wreck. So that's Defy, because I know a lot of people are big on Defy. Aren't they the British company? No. Yeah, they're the British company.
Huh?
Yeah. So they're running.
these companies anymore.
Yeah. And then what do you call it? And then at the Billy Penn Studios, which is another, like, I think that's like it's like a rock concert venue. All Caribbean Wrestling is doing Philly Mania at 2 p.m. on the 4th. Scheduled to appear Elijah Burke, AJ Francis, Alexa Gray, Cassandra Golden, Harv Shearer, which are the Bollywood boys, Lince Dorado. They haven't announced any matches, but I mean, you got 2 weeks, but I'd start announcing matches.
Yeah, you might want to get on that.
Yeah. And then the 4th at 3 p.m. Monster Factory's for what do you call it? Monster Factory's first big show of the week. They're having shows prior, but this is the first big one. It's championship match. David Goldie defending against Steve Macklin from TNA. Yep. Wrecking Ball Goligorsky versus Bobby Buffet. I like Bobby. Travis Jacobs against Lince Dorado, and Stevie Brooks versus Gabby Ortiz versus Nevaeh Madonna. So you figure the 4th. Good Lord. So like I'm saying, that this is the thing. A lot of the names that are coming into Philly are like really booking themselves thin, because show in Philly at 2 p.m. has Lince Dorado on it, and then he's working the Monster Factory at 3 p.m. in Paulsboro, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I hope you're going on early in the first one.
Yep. Put him in match 1 and then
yeah. Oh God. But then one of the big shows that people are looking forward to is actually on the 4th at 4 p.m. and that's Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 10. Those are the Game Changer Wrestling hosts them, but a lot of people have been getting into the Barnett's Bloodsport ones. There's a 4-woman Bloodsport tournament featuring Masha Slamovich, Lady Faust, Marina Shafir, and Lindsay Snow, which is kind of odd because Masha Slamovich is working another match on that card, which we'll get to. Yeah. Also on the show is Nick Nemeth against Mike Bailey, Josh Barnett against Johnny Bloodsport, which is John Morrison, Minoru Suzuki against Royce Isaacs, and the big one that is drawing people in for that, Masha Slamovich versus Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I was surprised to
Trips is letting people work. Yeah. It's it's good to see that he's giving faith to some of these things. So yeah, word. What I don't know if it's happening out. Word is Dom Mysterio may be showing up at that show too. It's still kind of in the air. Apparently, Brett Lauderdale was trying to book Dom versus Buddy Murphy. Since Rhea's yeah. But yeah. Then on the 4th at 7 p.m. WrestleCon at the at the 2300. Rob Van Dam against Mike Bailey, Masato Tanaka against Josh Alexander, Joey Janela versus Nick Nemeth, Philly Street Fight, Paul Walter Hauser versus Sami Callihan, and then also scheduled to appear Savio Vega, Jose Estrada, Miguel Perez Jr., Hurricane Castillo Jr., Little Guido, Tommy Rich, Titan, and Matt Riddle. So that's the first 2300 show listed. Obviously, if you're going to be running in Philly at the 2300, you're going to have some ECW guys on the show. Yeah. It's a given. Yeah. And apparently they're also running a block party as well with a whole bunch of other people later on or before the show. But then let's see. That's the 4th. And then the next day at the 2300 is Battleground Championship Wrestling. That's actually Alpha Junior's company. He runs Battlegrounds. World Championship, Brian Kendrick defends against Lince Dorado. I don't agree with them booking Brian Kendrick, but that's Junior's bag, not mine. Juicy Fatu versus Wrecking Ball Legursky. Number 1 contenders match, Lance Onawai versus Rich Swann. PCO versus Jacob Fatu versus Matt Riddle. That one's going to be interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. Falaba with Beastman versus Brian Myers with Hornswoggle. And Crowbar versus Vasad. Those are the matches announced for the Battleground show. Nice. And then at 3 p.m. at the Trinity Center for Urban Life, I guess that's a community center near there. It's a twofer. It's Wrestling Revolver and House of Glory doing a co-branded show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. What do you call it? they're going to do, apparently they're unifying their titles. So the House of Glory champion Santana will be defending against the Revolver champion Alex Shelley. I guess it's winner take all. That's their main event. Also scheduled to appear Zach Wentz and Trey Miguel, the Rascals, Sammy Callahan, Zach Gibson, and James Drake, GYV. So but they've only announced that one match so far.
Mustafa.
But I mean,
Amazing Red.
Yeah. Oh, Mustafa and Amazing Red. I completely skipped over that. Yeah, that's the other match that's announced. Yep. And then on the 5th at 7 p.m. is the next GCW show, Joey Janela's Spring Break, which he does at every Mania weekend. That's at Penn's Landing, the caterers. Let's see, Masato Tanaka, Minoru Suzuki versus Rino Yamashita and Macha Slamovich. Nick Wayne, Jordan Oliver, and Mike Bailey against Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, and Kerry Morton, which is interesting because Ricky and Robert, I thought they had said they had done their last match together because Ricky was just going to be teaming with Kerry.
Yeah,
but I guess because it's a 6-man, it's different.
Plus it's Mania weekend, might as well,
Right. Gringo Logo versus Volador Jr. GCW World Championship, Blake Christian defending against Joey Janela. Blake Christian has Shane Mercer in his corner. Joey Janela has Missy Hyatt in his corner. Shane Mercer is a guy that I'm surprised has not gotten picked up by anyone yet. Like, have you ever seen any highlight clips of Shane Mercer?
I have not, no.
I'll send you some shit. The dude is amazing. Like, I don't know why no one's touched him. Huh. Like, unless like he's rubbed someone the wrong way, I don't understand how he hasn't at least gotten picked up by TNA.
Yeah.
Like the dude has it.
Nice.
There's some story behind this match. Matt Cardona with Steph DeLander against Blue Cane. So, you know about Blue Cane?
I've seen some.
Yeah. Yeah. So the dude works the indies in a Blue Cane gimmick. See, originally, Cardona wanted to work Glenn Jacobs' Cane for this show. He was rallying for Brett Lauderdale to book Cane for this show. Wow. Effie came out and said, "You book that right-wing son of a bitch and have him in the locker, I will slit his fucking throat and go to jail proudly for it." Like, Effie put his foot down. He was like, "Do not let that piece of shit in this locker room or you're never going to hear the end of it." And it was like a whole thing on Twitter. So they were like, "Oh," so they covered it by saying he's working Blue Cane.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It was quite a tense few days. So I was talking because I have a group chat with Ed Wood and Logan Black and Pizza Long, and I was like, "You guys seeing this shit?" Like it was serious for a bit.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep. And so then on the 5th at 7:30 p.m. So it's actually happening at the same time as Joey Janela's Spring Break. So it's one of those like pick either or show. Is the Battleground show at the 2300, and this is the big ECW reunion show that we've all been expecting.
Oh yeah, a lot of games.
Tajiri versus Super Crazy, Duke Old Scorpio against Juventud Guerrera, Al Snow versus Shane Douglas with Francine, Dudley Boys against Onita and a mystery partner, DeBaldi's, DeVito, HC Loke, and Angel against the Pitbull Revolution, which is Gary Wolf, Trax, Jerry Penders, and Alec Oden. A mystery special guest referee match between Bill Alfonso and Joel Gertner. That's gonna be terrible.
Oh my God!
It's gonna be so terrible.
Hopefully that only lasts like 2 to 3 minutes. And
right, that's like right after intermission.
yeah. That's your popcorn match for a good like 3 minutes. That's all you need.
Yep. Masato Tanaka versus Rhino, Danny Doring versus Crowbar, and I hate this that this motherfucker is booked and Just Incredible is not. Jason Knight versus Alvin with Missy Hyatt.
All right.
I am ashamed to say that Jason Knight was one of my trainers because the man is a horrible person. And I don't understand how Just Incredible is not booked on any of these shows, like at all. He's not even making an appearance anywhere, but Jason got a match. Like Jason hasn't worked a match in years.
I was going to say, I don't recall him being anywhere.
Like he worked like he worked for like maybe 2 random shitty indies in 2019 before COVID, but he
Yeah.
hasn't worked since COVID. Like, and like before that, like, I mean, like Jason, like I have stories for days about Jason, and like I just ugh. I don't understand how he's booked. I don't.
Oh boy.
Yep. And then on the 6th at 11 a.m., Effie's Big Gay Brunch at Penn's Landing. The GCW Ultra Violent Championship, Rina Yamashita versus Billy Dixon, Dark Sheik versus Sunny Kiss, Sawyer Wreck versus Max the Impaler, and Bussy, which is Effie and Alley Catch, versus Dirty Breeze, which is Breezango.
Huh.
Which that'll be a fun match to watch. That I'm sure that'll be the entertaining spot of the day for them.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. And then there hasn't been any matches announced, but on the 7th at 1 p.m. at the Murphy Rec Center, which is where Ring of Honor started, Combat Zone Wrestling Live. That's all it says. And all it says is scheduled to appear Rich Swann, Griffin McCoy, Brandon Watts, Randy Summers, Mike Walker, Vinny Talata. Like no matches announced yet. But I mean, it's their Combat Zone's the only company that is working at the Murphy Rec Center. Like, so there must be something going on at the Rec Center the rest of the days for no one to have been able to book it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and like I said, there's a ton of other shows happening. Those are just the ones that have like because like a lot of the other shows are just a lot of local New Jersey, Philly talents. Those are the shows that they're actually bringing in names to try to draw people, which is why I featured them. If you're in Philly, there's just look up WrestleMania weekend indie shows happening, and you'll find a list and throw a rock. You'll be able to find a show in case you don't have Mania tickets or whatnot. Like I was like, in all honesty, like some stuff came up, so I wouldn't be able to go because I was really considering like trying to go down for like SmackDown in the Hall of Fame and then catching Stand and Deliver the next morning and then coming home, but it's not gonna happen. So I gotta wait until the next Mania they have in like New York, New Jersey, or if they ever have one at Foxborough.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Well, I mean, you got to look at NFL stadiums. I could see it happening at Gillette eventually.
Maybe
if they bid for it,
Yeah, I hear
Minnesota's getting next year.
Well, I hear Gillette, like the people who own Gillette, don't really care to have WrestleMania.
Why not?
You think you'd want all that money in tourism?
It's probably because they don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
That was a debate I was having with an idiot on Twitter. Well, it wasn't just me. I jumped in on it, but basically because they were all but Wembley with AEW, and they're like, yeah, and Tony Khan had to pay for Wembley, and he was just like, you're suggesting WWE doesn't pay for their venues? Like, not for Mania, bro.
Yeah, it's usually there's towns bidding to get Mania,
right? And we literally I shared the article about how Minnesota is the winning bid right now for Minneapolis to host the next Mania. And they're like, that doesn't mean they're paying for it. That just means they're bidding to have it there. Like, dude, that's what it means.
Here's your sign.
Just people just want to have the plausible deniability no matter what. WWE bad, AEW is God. The last broadcast I did, I talked about how people need to be adults and embrace the concept of agree to disagree. Like, you can like AEW, fine. I don't like it. Don't come at me telling me I'm stupid. Don't come at me telling me I don't know what real wrestling is. Just agree to disagree and move on. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Be an adult.
Yeah, that's a little hard for people now. So
that's people talking about tribalism didn't exist before that. Bullshit.
Oh, come on.
Dude, I remember having these exact same arguments where people telling me, you don't know what real wrestling is, after I went to a Ring of Honor show in 2004 and said I didn't like it.
Oh, fuck. The shit goes back to WWE versus WCW.
Right.
The Attitude Era and all that.
Right. It's just like, we didn't have, it's like all we had back then was AOL chat rooms. We didn't have social media. It still happened.
It still happened all the time, dude.
We're old, but this shit still happened.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. A lot of these people who are dying on these hills, they weren't even alive until fucking 2002.
Right.
You know?
It's like this is where the benefit of being a jaded Gen Xer comes in. Gotta live through this shit. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Yep. I got nothing. You got any shows coming up?
Yeah. So I get the next couple weeks off. I just got done with about 4 shows, I think, this month. So next one I will be down in Bristol, Connecticut for Tatsu. April 13th. April. Look at my calendar because I don't remember dates off the top of my head. April 19th, I will be at Top Rope Promotions in Fall River.
Nice.
And April 27th, Bridgewater with New World Wrestling Extreme.
Oh, okay.
All ring announcing gigs. And that's all I have for April right now. I'll probably more up, I'm sure. I'm usually busy every other week. If I'm not busy, then I'm with this helping out at the wrestling school Next Gen.
Right.
Which cheap plug here. You can go ahead and visit www.nextgenwrestlingcenter.com.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm
going to try to work. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say in the Manchester, Auburn, New Hampshire area.
Yep. I'm working on in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be before the end of April, but I'm going to have Kurt Adonis coming on. We're going to interview him about his new company, Wrestling with Character. I don't know if you've seen any of the buzz about that.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's running. Kurt's officially a promoter now.
Okay.
He's running his first show in Newington, Connecticut at the end of April. It's a family friendly, almost like a circus oriented type thing where it's like an all day. There hasn't been a lot released yet, but it's called Wrestling with Character, and it's to draw in children, and it's going to be stuff of handling issues like anti-bullying and stuff like that. I know Antonio Thomas is working the show as Tom Santelli. He hasn't really announced matches yet because it's going to be like a different type of format, but I'm going to be getting Kurt on in the next couple of weeks to talk about it because it's his new passion project, and I wish him the best of luck. And I know the venue he's running into, it's a nice venue. I tried running there once, but they wanted too much money from me. So but Kurt's good at getting sponsorships. So, he was the business juggernaut behind NEW for years. So,
okay.
So I'm sure that he won't have a problem getting the funding.
Right on. Yeah. There's, and speaking of NEFW, Chris, who, used to run the original NEFW.
Yeah.
Starting up Planet Pro Wrestling officially.
Oh, really? He's not going to, because I know he was still doing Wishes on Wheels under the NEFW label.
No, he was doing it at Planet Pro Wrestling.
Oh, he was? I thought the last one. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he first show is May 11th in Webster, Mass.
Oh.
And then the next show after that's July 5th in Enfield, Connecticut.
Nice. Where's he running in Enfield?
I don't know what the venue is. I don't remember, but
I
those
wonder
are the 2 dates I have.
I wonder if he needs a commentary.
You'll have to run that by him.
That's how I ended up at NEFW last time. I emailed him out of the blue asking if he was looking for managers, and he was like, "Well, I need commentary," and I was like, "I'm here."
Oh, there you go.
The train started all over again.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's doing that now. Got a couple
he doesn't
of
get any pushback running in Enfield.
I don't know.
I know a lot of people get territorial about towns lately.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's been like that's a decades old
thing. That's why I won't run in Torrington anymore.
Yeah.
Beat Boy killed that town for me.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, the town was dying as it was, but Beat Boy killed it.
Yeah. Like a knife and just.
It's all right. I've got a couple of plans. I got some irons in the fire for when things start going again.
There you go.
I'm not worried.
Very nice.
But yeah, so I think that should wrap us up for now.
Cool.
I don't know if we'll do another one of these next week. I think we'll wait till maybe post Mania to do a Mania review show, if anything.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Cool. So I will keep you. I will keep you in the loop, and we'll figure out a time to record that. But yeah, it's been great not having to do this solo for at least a little bit. But
yeah, man, no, it was good to see you again for once.
Right. So. We haven't actually seen each other face to face. God knows how long.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, you can find GK Durant up on X/Twitter. His handle's right there. The voice_beard. You can find me at JJ_Alexander. Like I said, you push the look into the events that he'll be ring announcing at, and we will see you the next one whenever that so may be.
Absolutely.
Yep. And y'all have a good one.
Oh yeah, dude. No, it was good to see you.
Yep. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share.